We are all a slave to the system that we made, breaking out riot that we will create, overthrow the greed, 'cause why should we suffocate? That is how we come, yeah, I will lead us home, yeah, I will lead us. To the system that we made, breaking out riot that we will create, overthrow the greed, 'cause why should we suffocate? That is how we come, yeah, I will lead us home, yeah, I will lead us.
Got a monster inside of me. You better watch out if your enemies are the head. A full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets cause real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored. Listen until they feel the force of hard in. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You'll be chewed up and discarded.
And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. 'Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When I'm dead. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. 'Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. this deathbed, our time slips away. And in our final moments, silence and
Sorry, it took a few minutes to get the microphone to turn on. I was just there like, the microphone is muted, I can't get it to turn on. Jesus Christ, come here. It's... Hello. Sorry, I'm messing with some settings and I can't get it to do what I want. I think the music is too low. I'm trying to turn up and it won't. I can't get it to go up. Fuck's sake. Sorry. One sec. I can't get it to do what I want. Oh my god. Hello, hello. Oh yeah, I should be on my phone because I can also create a whatchamacallit, a bingo thing. Bingo game. Right, let me test this.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Okay, and now create a bingo game. New game started. Honestly, I don't know if I have anything to really talk about today, because, like, you know how my usual schedule is Fridays. Like, Mondays and Fridays. And I missed yesterday because Friday just kind of snuck up on me. And by the time I remembered, like, that, like, streaming is a thing that I do on Fridays, that, it was, like, 7, 8, 9 o'clock for me, anyway. And, like, obviously there's enough time there to, like, you know, set up or whatever. But I was already in bed. I was already curled up. You know, I already had like a story ready to go to like read and all this, and I was so comfortable. And I was just like, I can't get out of bed. I can't do it. And so I ended up missing yesterday's stream because I couldn't get out of bed because I forgot about it initially, and then when I did remember it, I did have time to set up for it. And I was just like, I'm too tired. I'm already in bed. I'm already cozy. There we go. Sorry, I'm fixing it in real time. There we go. So once I realized that I was too tired to actually stream, I was like, I'm not gonna stream today. So well, that was yesterday, being yesterday. So I'm streaming today to make up for that. I'm also streaming earlier as well. I see you, Summit. Thank you. That's nice. Is the music on? No, it is not. I was wondering, I was like, it went too quiet for me. Let me know if the music is ever too loud and you can't hear me. Congratulations. Also, I'm still dual streaming, I believe. Let me actually check the YouTube stream. But as far as I know, I'm still dual streaming. And I know... Because as I was saying before, that Prime Live is going... What you call it? Is becoming like a... whatchamacallit? A... fucking... Oh no. It's becoming a subscription service. Sorry, I'm doing something at the same time. It's becoming a subscription service, and one of the things going behind the subscription is the multi-streaming. I don't think it's been done yet, because I'm currently multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so it's not been done yet, because I'm not paying for the subscription. And as far as I'm aware, Prime does not have my details, so it's not like automatically taking for me from what I can gather. So So I was just noticing, I'm just after realizing that I haven't actually been checking up on my YouTube stuff. And it's just after showing me that, like, my YouTube streams are getting, like, some attention. So, like, my Twitch streams are doing a hell of a lot better. But, like, my YouTube is getting a bit of attention, so. I do find that funny that, like, my Twitch is doing so much better than my YouTube. I do think the irony of that is funny, because they always say, like, if you want to do well on Twitch, you have to be doing multi-platform, and I am doing that. I'm on YouTube and Twitch. It's just still funny to me. I'm gonna turn my speakers down just a bit so that way I can hear myself think a bit better. I did first find out about you through YouTube, yeah. So, like, in that regard, like, it has helped me. It's like, the multi-streaming thing is at least keeping my YouTube up to date, I guess. because I haven't been like uploading to YouTube recently, but I have been streaming to YouTube, like doing these multi-streams. So technically fast, however long, I don't remember how long I'm doing this, but like for the past like say like 2 months or something, I've been streaming twice a week for 2 months to both YouTube and Twitch. So for let's say 2 months, I've been streaming twice a week to YouTube. So that should be helping, but I don't think it doesn't seem to be doing much for YouTube. I don't know what this is showing me. It was weird because my For You page was all people with 1 million subscribers plus, and then you. Honestly, my For You page, it's kind of gone like haywire. I don't see anyone I recognize on my For You page anymore. It's all just random people I've never seen before in my life. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that, honestly. I think sometimes there might be like one person I'm subscribed to on the For You page, and then everything else is like everybody else that I don't know or haven't seen before in my life. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Although I have been noticing that YouTube has been getting better with notifications, because I found that was always a problem I had with YouTube before, where it was really bad with notifying me when my favorite YouTubers were uploading. But I found that it's gotten a little better for me. It's not like in all areas, because I have heard the likes of Jacksepticeye being like, saying that his page is like his like big channel, his main channel. For some reason it hasn't been pushing out the way it usually would. So I've been having the opposite problem, like me personally as a consumer, not as a YouTuber. I don't know on the YouTuber side of things. Your For You page is 90% Markiplier. I haven't watched Markiplier in ages. He is someone, like, I went from watching, like, every single one of his videos to, like, now I see his uploads and I go, oh, I should watch that, and then I forget to. So now I probably have, like, 10 to 20 videos of his that I haven't actually seen that I should watch. I have a problem. A Markiplier problem, you mean? What was that? One thing though is, like, with Jacksepticeye as well, is that he recently did a video about the Stop Killing Games initiative, which, you know, reminded me of it, because the very first time I ever heard of the Stop Killing Games thing, it was because of Pirate Software Games. And you know how that, like, that's not a good thing. Because sorry, I was just noticing that the animation, was not animating. But apparently Pirate Software Games really misrepresented the Stop Killing Games initiative. And so I was, like, literally watching his stuff live when the Stop Killing Games thing came up. And because when I first initially heard the Stop Killing Games, literally I was like, oh, this is, like, for us gamers, like, it's to help us, right? But then, like, the way he explained it, I was like, oh, never mind then. So, like, when it came back around and Jacksepticeye was like, yeah, look into this. Look into the Stop Killing Games initiative. Because he was saying that, like, it's on its, like, last month, which is, like, the entirety of July. Like, this is, like, last kind of month that's got to, like, reach its goal. So I was like, I'll look back into it because it's Jacksepticeye, you know? Because, like, the very first time I heard it, I was like, oh, it's probably to, like, help us gamers, right? And then Pirate Software, like, explained the way that I was like, oh, that doesn't really sound good. And then to have it come back around, I was like, actually forgot about this. So let me look into it this time. Because last time it was like, because usually with Pirate Software, he's usually like a morning streamer, or at least he's a morning streamer for me. And so because it's like I put him on as like sometimes every now and again as background music. At the time, I only just initially found him, so I was watching him for the past few things in a row, and that just came up, and he was like background now sounds. You know the way that sometimes when you put like a stream up for background. I take it Markiplier is like a favorite YouTuber of yours. Markiplier is my goat. It has been a while for me since I've seen any of his videos. Honestly, I would like to be streaming on my PC, but it's like its connection to the internet is so bad that like in order to have a good internet, I should be streaming from my tablet, and it's kind of sad. Cause like if I was streaming from my PC, we could be like watching some videos together. Pull up some Markiplier, or pull up some other videos. Honestly, I've been. Let me see. Do you know if it's a problem with your wireless adapter or your Wi-Fi? It's the adapter, I think, because the internet seems to be just fine, but it's the PC that keeps disconnecting. Every single time the PC just disconnects. I have like such horrible internet issues with the PC, where I'd be on my tablet or my phone, and everything on around that would be fine. And so it's like, so that's how I learned like the hard way. It's not the internet fucking up; it's the PC fucking up. And I'm like, fuck. So I was like, I need to look into getting a better computer, honestly. We're a few seconds away from a Pokemon being in chat again on TikTok or Twitch. On Twitch. I don't know what I do not have a TikTok. I watch a lot of TikTok, so I keep saying TikTok instead of Twitch sometimes. But a Pokemon is 30 seconds away from being in chat. 20 seconds. Well, 20 or so seconds. This week has been more of the same old, and anything that's out of the ordinary, I'm not going to talk about on stream. The main thing is just I've been reading new fan fiction, basically. It's nice. It's nice to actually see the Pokemon on the stream. Just there in the corner, hey. Oh, that's right, Pokecatch, yep. I forgot. If I want the Pokemon, I have to catch the damn thing. Yeah, it keeps doubling it whenever I talk in chat. I don't know what that's about. I actually forgot to look into that, now that I think about it. Hey, I see you. I see it's just BK. I think BK, I just mentioned to you, like, in a few streams ago, before I went off, like, what was the BK about? Was that for Bakugo? And is that from MHA? Summit! You're the only one who caught it. Go, Les. Let's go. Hello, BT, BK. I like you guys saying hello to each other, that's cute. BK is your... it was the BK for Bakugo from MHA. I remember my friend back when we were still in college together, whenever MHA would come up, I'd be like, don't get me started on MHA. And then they were just like, okay, and they just never bring it up. I'm like, no, bring it up. Like, but they took me seriously. I wouldn't bring it up, and I was like, okay, message received. Oh no, it's just 2 letters from my name. Ah, okay. Because like we were kind of in a rush the last time I had mentioned that. I asked that, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm ending stream like 2 minutes. What am I doing? And you were like, I'm gonna go because I'm tired. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go too. So when I realized that like I had asked that question before and I didn't really get the answer, I was like, yeah, I should ask again. So it's just, yeah, so like at least now I have an explanation. Is there any topics or anything you guys want to mention, talk about, like that we were talking about before, even? Because like topics I've talked about before have been Five Nights at Freddy's, K-pop Demon Hunters, fan fiction. I think last stream I was actually talking about like 2 ships that I shipped. I was talking about like Free, and I was talking about Rin and Haru, and how that was my ship from Free. But I did briefly mention Longa and Reki from Skate the Infinity. So I'm just trying to think over all the topics that I've talked about in chat when I've had actual views to talk to about it. It's like, what have I talked about before that like that can come back up? AI has been another one, like actual AI. And I keep hearing like more and more scary stuff about AI. Like apparently recently I've heard that apparently AI is trying to like code itself that like humans can't turn it off anymore or something. And I was just like, you know, like shit is scary enough already. Oh yeah, we talked about Horizon and Zelda too. Yeah. I think as well, and like this is another topic that I was on, but I don't know if there was anyone in chat at the time. But I was talking kind of to myself about Control. It's a Remedy entertainment, and it's a game called Control, and it's one of my favorites to play because like gameplay wise, it's really fun. But the reason why I bring it up is because the way with Horizon, it's Horizon has 2 games, so Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, and then there's a third one coming out and the schedule is like around 2030, right? This is like what, 25? It's like 5 more years, and we will probably have Horizon 3, which I'm looking forward to. I love Horizon, so I'm looking forward to that. But I've noticed with like the other Horizon releases that they unintentionally released around another AI, around like another game. So like the first Horizon Zero Dawn released, I think, like a week before Breath of the Wild did, and we all know that Breath of the Wild was huge. So like then Forbidden West released like a handful, like maybe like a month or something before Elder Ring did. You know what I mean? So like it's been like a twofer so far. That, like a Horizon game would release, and then this new big ass game that kind of ends up overshadowing it online. Like in terms of sales, they still do well, but online, Zero Dawn doesn't get talked about, and Forbidden West doesn't get talked about, and because it gets overshadowed by like Breath of the Wild and Elder Ring. You know what I mean? So part of me is like, I don't want Horizon 3 to be overshadowed the way the last two have been. And the reason why I mention is this game called Control, which I think is kind of like an underrated, like an underrated gem. I've had that. For me, Control was one of those games that I only bought it because it was on on sale on Steam. Like the Steam sales or whatever. And I know that it was because I think I saw like gameplay for it and I did like it. And then I had it in my like Steam library for years before I actually played it. I only played it recently. I only played it like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. So like it's 25 now. So I either played it in 23 or 24. I've had it in my library for years, and it's also scheduled to come out. Like there's one Control game out right now, and there's a second one. Like there was it was confirmed a second Control 2 is coming out, and they're working on all this sorts of things, and we were told that like it will be around 2030 when it comes out, and I'm just like, you can't give me two like hugely like big games for me personally, because I don't know when it comes to like the gaming sphere how big like Control is for people. It's a good game to me. I know it does have its fan base. I don't know how big that fan base is, but like I know it has it at least, and so I'm like, Control 2 and Horizon 3 are going to be like two big games for me. And the idea of them coming out in the same year is both a nice idea, but also like you'll force me to choose, and I don't want to. Like let them have like a year apart or something, so that way I have a year with one game, and then the next game comes out, and then I have a year with that game. Like, because it's just once again the idea that Horizon will end up getting overshadowed, and I'm not necessarily it's going to be overshadowed by Control 2. Like, it might for me, you know what I mean? It depends on which one of them comes out first. Whichever one of them releases first is the one I'm going to be playing. But I don't want to be playing one and then thinking, oh god, like say like Control 2 comes out first, so I start playing Control 2, and then a week later Horizon 3 releases, and then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be playing Control 2 going, Horizon 3 just came out today. I could and probably should be playing it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be like thinking of another game while playing an anticipated game for myself, personally. I don't want to deal with an AI uprising, honestly. And it's funny as well, Horizon kind of dives into AI as well, in like the fictional sense. Whereas we are actually dealing with AI bullshit. And I think I was kind of talking broadly as well about the apocalypse, just like that world-ending feeling everyone seems to have in this day and age. And like, if you actually look at like a lot of like movies and things when it comes to like world-ending topics, right? It's usually like in terms of like movies or books or something, it's usually like some sort of disease. So it's either like an ancient pathogen that unintentionally was dug up, or like some super alien disease invades Earth or something, and like humans get sick and they start dying, or they turn into zombies or some type of monstrosity or something. Then it's alien invasion of some sort. Then it's technology, something about technology. So usually AI uprising, rising up to like kill us or whatever. And then what's the other one? Isn't there another one? Hang on. Isn't there usually like 3 or 4? I want a zombie apocalypse. Don't know, it sounds fun. I don't like the idea of any apocalypse. I want this existential dread of the world is ending to actually just be dread. Then there's also like the World War ones as well. So that's like the third one or fourth one. So it's some sort of illness, alien technology, and war. Those are like the usual like story themes around why the world ends. And like we are on the verge of all of them. Like in actuality, in so many ways. We have like so many AI things where it keeps coming out that AI is like trying to like make it that humans can't force it to shut down. And like we keep hearing every other day about how like do you know those like TikToks where it's like someone's like, oh, I found this statue hidden deep in the woods or whatever, and then someone will stitch it and be like, put it back, don't be dealing with things you don't want to mess with, put it back. You know what I mean? It's just like, so that's like supernatural, you know, like sort of stuff. There's this book called Factualness that was just about why the world is actually better than people think. It was really good. Got to feel hope for a little bit, and then the world ended. No, it's like, so like you read this book, you feel a bit more hopeful, and then fucking Trump is elected as president, and they're like, hope died. You know what I mean? No offense. I'm just trying to joke a little bit. It's good if reading that book did help you like feel more hopeful, honestly. I think that's why I like reading fics and playing games. They kind of like bring me out of reality enough to kind of like stop with the existential dread. You know what I mean? It kind of brings me back from the whole the world feels like it's ending in one shape or form or another. The only reason why I want to bring it up is that like in stories there's like 3 or 4 to like 5 reasons why the world ends, and it feels like we're on the cusp of all of them at the same time in different ways. There's the AI thing, there's like all the people messing with shit that they shouldn't be, and there's like, wasn't there like back in 2020 there was like stories about how like a guardian stone or something was found split open at like the edge of Japan or something like that, and just like, and there's so many stories just like that where it's like this legend where the legend was that this like housed an evil spirit or something, or something something, and it's broken or it's missing or it's not here now, and it's just like and then other things as well. Like it's just it's ironically funny how like story wise there are so many ways the world has ended in movies and books and things, and it's just, it feels like we're on the cusp of it. It's so many of those options. There's AI, there's the illness, there's like the supernatural, there's the alien, and then there's like world war breakout. And like, it's like, Jesus fuck. Someone somewhere is fucking with something and they're dragging the world into it. Because they have like 5 different world-ending things going on all at once that are just kind of being like juggled into the air, and we're all just like, don't let any of the balls fall, please. I'm in no mood for the world to end. All right, maybe we all get an achievement for getting all of them. That would be funny. Just like in the corner of your eye, achievement. And there's a Pokemon. Because that scared me for a second. I was just joking about how achievement will pop up at the side of the corner of your eye, and there's just like a Pokemon just popped up, and I was like, oh god, the timing of that. I wasn't even paying attention to the timer. Ugh, that's funny. Oh yeah, with the bingo thing as well. I've started a bingo game, but I haven't called any bingo yet. Any random card numbers. I should be doing that. Call a random number. So a random number has been called. I forgot to join the game myself. There. And down. Wait, what? Hang on, chat box come back. What? You know what game I'm super excited for? Subnautica 2. That actually, Joe, what confused me about Subnautica 2 as well is that, like, Joe when, what was it? Subnautica Frozen Below Zero. That confused the fuck out of me, because I was like, is that Subnautica 2? That's what I thought at first. I was like, is that Subnautica 2? But, oh, thank you. I'm just now seeing the bless you. But apparently it's actually not. I think it's just like a little spin-off. I think it's just like a little something to like kind of hold fans over until 2 is out. So you're really looking forward to Subnautica 2. Holy shit, I can't wait. Holy, I can't wait. Are you much of a, what's the word? Cursor? Because I just cursed in your stead there, sorry. Holy, I can't wait. No one caught the barnacle. Bless you. Thank you for blessing my sneeze. I don't know, like, when it comes to, like, games I'm excited for, like, there's, like, Pokemon and Zelda games that I would normally be excited for, but I don't have a Switch 2, so I'm not allowing myself to kind of think about it, you know what I mean? It's like, usually I would be, but, like, and have you heard about the Nintendo consoles being bricked already? I knew I was right to hold out on the Switch 2. I was like, I'm gonna wait for, like, 6 months or so. And, like, it's not even been, like, a month yet, and I've already heard about how Nintendo consoles are being bricked. I don't curse much. Don't know why. Sorry, I don't fucking know why. You don't have to curse. I was just saying that, like, I accidentally cursed in your stead there earlier. Because instead of saying holy fuck. Because, like, you just said holy, I can't wait, and then I had automatically put in fuck there. Just on my own. I was like, wait a minute. I just accidentally cursed in your set. Sorry about that. It's like, you're looking forward to Subnautica 2. And, like, I'm curious what they're going to do with Subnautica 2. Because I remember I remember Subnautica 1. I've played Subnautica 1. And so, like, I'm really curious what they're going to do with 2. Because I hope in 2 we get to see the baby... the babies. You know what I'm talking about, the babies. Right, you know what I mean. To the edge. I'm trying to remember about the... what you call them. The effects. I should be using them. Because I remember the scribbling on the screen thing, and then I was like, oh, I don't have my stylus with me handy. So I can't just write on the screen today. No, I don't have my stylus anyway. be easier with my stylus. I'm gonna call another random bingo card. Bingo number. Do you? You get to see the babies in below 0, but no one really liked the game. What do you mean? Because like I know that there was like a bit where you could see the babies in below 2 or below 0, but I thought that was before they fully released it. Because I was watching the development of it, so I was like watching like a YouTuber who was constantly like showing off the all the new changes that was happening in the beta. And I know that in the beta somewhere you could see the babies, but I didn't realize that made it into the game. I thought that was removed from the full game. Is that actually in the game where you get to see the babies? I'm hoping Subnautica 2 is as good as the original one, though. I'm hoping so too. Maybe it was before they released it, because like I'm pretty sure the baby bit, the bit with the baby empresses, because I know that like the species was referred to as the Sea Emperor, but given the fact that the game hinged on the last female and she talks to us with a female voice, I've always resorted to calling her the Sea Empress. And I know the babies are kind of, we don't know what they are, so I'm just defaulting to her, even though she's probably past now. I'm just gonna refer to it as like the Sea Empress babies. I know that in the beta you were able to meet at least one of the sea babies, but I don't know, I'm pretty sure that got removed from the full release. I never actually played it. I heard it was bad. Honestly, like, I know that they had so many cool ideas, and then they didn't really do any of the cool ideas. I don't know why. Like, they removed so many things. Like, you see the betas, and then you see what they released, and you're like, why did so many of your cool beta ideas get just scrapped outright? Because there's, like, a cool thing with the beta where, like, one, you get to meet at least one of the sea babies, the Sea Emperor babies, and there was, like, something unique to do with, like, the the ice worm, and then there was like like a beast or something you could meet that I don't think made it into the real game. And then there was also the the frozen leviathan. Like in game, right, you can heal the frozen leviathan of the Kara virus, the disease. And the thing is, when I first saw that, even in the beta, I was just like, the pustules disappear really fast. Like, in order for this to work, the base has to still be alive. Because like, if it's frozen, if it's dead, then it doesn't matter if you like give it the cure. It's dead. You know what I mean? Like you have to like the body has to be alive to carry the antidote throughout the body for the pustules or whatever to disappear. So the second I saw the pustules disappearing, even in the beta, I was like, is the frozen leviathan still alive? Because, like, how was it able to heal miraculously immediately? And then nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't come up in-game. And it didn't even really come up in the beta. I've seen modders change it so that way the frozen leviathan breaks free. But that's modding. Right, another random bingo number has been called. At least it should have. I don't see it working though. I heard it was bad, yeah. I'm looking forward to 2 as well. I don't know what they're going to do with 2. You know what I mean? Like, are we going to get to see the same players last time? Because, like, I thought Riley was the name of the first player from Subnautica. But... Or maybe I was confused and I said Robin instead of Riley. Because I know Riley... I know Robin was one of the sisters in Zero Dawn, but I'm pretty sure Riley is the main character's name from Subnautica. Or at least, honestly, I don't know where that came from. I think I got it from Jacksepticeye, if I got it anywhere. So I watched his gameplay of it. I think he's the reason why I found Subnautica, honestly. Have you ever found a game through a YouTuber? I think I find a lot of my games through YouTubers sometimes. And sometimes there's games I'll never play, but I still watch YouTubers play it because I'm like, seems interesting. And there's times where like I'll watch a YouTuber play a game, and maybe in the moment I'm like, I'm not going to play this game. But then later on, if I see it myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this game. It seems familiar to me. I end up picking up the game. Like Kindergarten. Do you know the Kindergarten 1, 2, and 3? I've seen Game Theory play those games, and at the time that I was watching them, I had no interest in buying them or playing them myself. But this spring, this Steam Deck spring sale or whatever, 2 of them were on sale, and I was like, fuck it, 2 are on sale, 1 of them is newly released, I'll buy all 3 and play them myself. And I got through 1 and 2. I've finished like the story elements. I haven't gotten all the Monstermon cards, and also I love the Monstermon cards because I know they're a reference to Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's funny because like I just got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I got into Kindergarten that has Monstermon cards that are based on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's literally a card called the Dank Magician, which they're just like, like the Dark Magician, but just trying not to get got. You know what I mean? Because you're not allowed to actually call it the Dark Magician, so they call it the Dank Magician to be as close to the Dark Magician as possible without being copyrighted or whatever. Below Zero had a lot of fun ideas. Like, you know what happened in Below Zero, right? Because I never played either. I played Subnautica 1, but I haven't played Below Zero, but I have seen gameplay of it. So I'm assuming you know what happens in Below Zero. I keep almost saying Zero Dawn, and that's not what I mean. I mean Below Zero. While I'm waiting on a response there. Because I don't know what they're gonna do with 2 though. Like, I like the idea of getting Subnautica 2. And I'm assuming because you brought up like you're looking forward to it, that it's an actual like confirmed game that's coming out eventually. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Do you have any things for Subnautica 2 that you want? Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, okay. So you know about like Alan and all that and what goes on with him. Because part of me is like, I want the original character. You know what I mean? Like from Subnautica 1. I want to see like where they wound up, like how they are. It's like, can you imagine like surviving the Aurora crash? And then then you find all the like escape pods and you see all the ways other survivors didn't survive, how they're either screwed on arrival because their whatever location they wound up at was so terrible that they immediately got eaten the second they left their pods, or something broke into their pod and they got eaten, or you know what I mean, like some of them died of pure stupidity, others died because of circumstances outside of their control, and others survived to get to like the island but then died thereon. And then like I think story implications as well is that like some of them, because the rendezvous point was the island, and then they made it from the island back to the Aurora, and as you know, in game with Subnautica, the Aurora exploded. So if survivors made it back to the Aurora, they would have died there. So like, you survive the crash of Aurora. You happen to get like really fucking lucky, and you get like a really safe, good pod, and you just happen to be the only person in this pod, so you're the only survivor. As far as you're concerned, on the entire planet, you are the only survivor. And, like, what do you do with that? You know what I mean? And then you survive, and you survive, and you survive, and you survive some more. And then you get telepathically contacted by the Sea Empress. You manage to make your way down, what was it, like 1,000, down like a couple of thousand depth, down to like, what was it, 3,000-4,000 depth deep, and you have to get through lava and 3 sea dragons and facilities after facilities and all these things. And then you talk to the Empress. She's like, get me this pathogen, give me these like thingamajigs, and my eggs can hatch and open the portal, and then my babies will be free to roam, and their survival and their existence will save the planet and in turn save you, and blah blah blah. And then you have to say goodbye to the Empress because she's slowly leaving us. And then you go back to your little pod or whatever. You build a rocket, and then in the process of leaving, the fucking Aurora thing just goes, oh, by the way, you're like trillions of credit in debt financially to Altera or whatever. It's like Riley definitely wasted all of his luck on all of his luck in his entire lifetime on surviving. Honestly, he would have been better off staying on the planet. Wouldn't he have? Like, honest to God, at that point. Because when he's on the rocket, when you're leaving, the computer tells you you're trillions of dollars in debt because like you used Altera equipment to survive, whatever. I'm just like, fuck you, Altera. Like, god damn it. And it's just like, what happens to Riley after that? Like, if all that's gonna happen when he gets home is like, oh yeah, by the way, we're holding you contempt because you owe us trillions of credits because you use our tech to survive, whatever. They're just like, he would have been better off just staying on the planet and just never leaving. We don't know what his life is, so we don't know if he has like a wife and daughter or something, or like kids or siblings or parents or anything. Like, if it was just him and himself, just me, myself, and I, he probably would have just been better off just staying on the planet. Because like, yeah, he's alone, but you know what? He's not in debt. Now he's alive, probably enslaved by Intera, going, you owe us 3 trillion million billion zillion in financial debt, good luck to you. It's like, if I was him, I'd be like, I wish I never left that fucking planet. I just should have fucking stayed there and lived my life out with easy money, or easy food, easy water, not a care in the world. I am now free of disease. I've saved the entire planet. I have an easy resource of food, easy resource of water. What more could I possibly want other than company? But now that I've blown up the fucking, or not blown up, now that I've shut down the weapon, any cunt that comes here, I can eventually gain company or something. At that point, it's just like, there's no point. Because a part of me wants to see Riley again. Part of me wants to see like what happened to him. But then in Below Zero, as you probably know, you find Alan, and he's one of the dudes, the aliens that fucked up the planet in the first place and imprisoned the Sea Empress in the first place. And it bears questioning, does Alan know? Is he aware that the pathogen got contained or, you know, fixed? Because at this point, the only reason why the likes of the sister and everything were on the planet in the first place, because assuming Riley, like, he left, he told them about the planet, they saw from his databanks what was going on or whatever, they're like, wow, so there's this disease, but there's also a cure. and he found a cure, and we have to find the babies for the cure, and blah blah blah. And like we see it in game where you can cure the frozen Leviathan. So like Altair is aware of frozen Leviathan now. Well, not just the frozen Leviathan. They're aware of the disease, and they're aware of the cure. And it bears questioning, because I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen any gameplay of Frozen Zero Dawn, of Frozen Below Zero. Whether Alan actually knows what's going on with all of that, because he does admit he's one of the aliens who like did all the things in the first place. It's like fucking Riley, or not Riley, Robin, I think her name is. Robin just leaves the planet with him. She just goes to his home planet, and I'm just like, that's not safe. Why would you trust that? Because like, would you trust it? Honest to God, would you actually trust it? This alien that like, I mean, I suppose she didn't see it, but we did. Like, if you've played Subnautica 1, you've seen how they experiment on aliens, basically. They are aliens themselves, but like, the planet that they're on currently, it's not their home planet. It's not their planet. They experimented on everything. They experimented every single fish and creature and the eggs and the juveniles and everything in between, and like the leviathans and so on and so forth. They experimented on everything. And like, I know it's probably because of like the whole, they were looking for a cure for the disease, and it's like, sure, to a point. They experimented on everything. And like, Riley, to them, you are an alien. How do you know you're not going to get experimented on? Like, they experimented on every single creature on the entirety of the planet. Fuck's sake. You are an alien to these creatures. You will, like, how do you know you're not going to their home planet to be experimented on? That's my question. And that's the second time in a row now a human character has had like a psychic link, I guess, to another life form. It's like in the first game, Riley gets psychically connected, or psychically called by the Sea Empress, and she's like, come hither, come to me, I have what you need, you know, like, she's like, come help me and I'll help you. You know, like, he gets contacted by the Sea Empress. She, like, psychically, like, reaches out to him. And, like, I don't know if that's, like, actually an ability of hers, or if just humans have just, like, an open mind or something, or what the fuck is going on there. But then the same thing kind of happens to Riley, where, like, what's his name? Alan just kind of gets downloaded into her brain, and they can just talk now. And I'm like, the fuck? I remember Alan talking about how their species is all about progress and doesn't work with emotions or something along those lines. So no, I would definitely not trust that. Exactly. That's the other thing as well. And the thing is, like, I do think he was experiencing emotions through her. So I think he was feeling feelings from her. So like, she was like, I'm feeling terrified, or I'm feeling angry, and he's like, this is a curious thing. What is this thing that is your body is doing, or whatever? She's like, I feel angry, or I feel scared. I'm just like, I would have had him like kind of like staying with me a bit longer. You know what I mean? Because like, he's never experienced emotions. You do experience emotions. He's starting to experience emotions through you. I was just like, I would not trust someone who's like, I do not feel emotions. And it's like, and as you said, like, their species is all about progress. And on top of that, like, don't they have like a kind of like a hive mind thing as well? And like, we see like the body he ends up building for himself. That's like the standard body that they kind of made for themselves. So that way, like, they have like arms on top of arms, and like they have their own like hooves or whatever to like type with, but then they have like mechanical, like psychically linked arms that do shit for them as well. I'm just like, this species is known for its progress, doesn't fucking feel emotions, and we have an entire previous game where we see them experiment on everything. And one thing I forgot to mention is the Warpers. I almost called them the Reapers. The Warpers. They biologically created the Warpers. Which the Warpers are, to like kind of refresh your memory, because I don't know how much you remember of them, but they're basically, cause like, I didn't know this. It wasn't the fact that I watched. It was probably Jacksepticeye's gameplay, because I don't think I watched really anyone else's, to be honest. The only thing like it was like afterwards I watched like other YouTubers, but it was mostly they're like breaking down the lore and all that sort of stuff. But like, it was watching Jacksepticeye's playthrough where he was like, see this, and like he was like in the facility and pointing things out, and I was like, I literally outright said the other aliens, which I think were being referred to as the architects, right? Is like these other aliens, these architects, they literally created the Warpers, and like you see like the evidence of it in like one of their labs or whatever, where like you see them kind of like piecing Warpers together and shit. And like the Warpers can talk to each other. There's like a few of them in the game, right? There's like a handful of them throughout the entire game, and they can all communicate with each other. And again, Jacksepticeye, watching his playthrough, he was the one when it came up on his game, right, where like the radio signal thing picks up on alien contact or whatever, and it's like at first it's like brr, 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 like beep beep boop 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 boop, and then it translates it, and it's a really scary voice going, species found or something, hunting, tracking, what was the other thing? Something like informing other agents of virus's location or something like that. But like the bit where it's like hunting and all this shit, and I'm just like, you know. I think the Warpers are the scariest thing in the games. Like the fact that they could, like, in a way, talk. The fact that they are all in communication with each other. The fact that like your radio can pick up on those things, and it can translate those things, and it's a scary ass fucking voice going hunting. And it's like, fucking alright. God damn. And it's like, again, it was Jacksepticeye that said that he was like, that's the Warpers. That's them communicating with each other. And they're talking about you, the player. They're literally saying about how they have picked up on your presence, and how they're informing each other of you, and how they're all hunting you. And I was just like, I never would have picked up on that on my own. If that was left to me, I'd be like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about. I don't understand that at all. What the hell was that? I wouldn't have picked up on that on my own. But watching his gameplay, where he literally said, this is the Warpers, and they're hunting you, and they're talking about you, and they're all in communication with each other, and they're talking about you, I was like, holy shit, that makes it terrifying. At least you can see the Reapers coming. Honestly, the Reapers are like, the fact that you can hear them, like whenever they roar, it's basically just like, it basically just means they can see you when they roar. And like, I was playing recently. I was playing Subnautica recently, and literally with the Reapers, is like you can hear those calls before you see them, and it got to a point in the game where like I started being able to, like, once I started hearing them, I would look around for them. I'd be like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And there's just times where like you're like, I can hear it and I can't see it, and so you just try and move in like an opposite direction to them, so like you can hear them coming from someplace, but you can't like pick up on which direction. So you like move in a direction, and if it gets louder or lower, then you're like, right, I'm moving further or closer to it. And there's times, right, where I thought I had moved away from it, but then I hear it roaring, and I'm like, oh, I moved fucking closer to it. Shit. And then I would like look around, and I would actually see it. Like not coming at me or anything, but I'd see it like in the distance, like swimming around. And I'm like, okay, turn around, get in the opposite direction. Because like in Subnautica, I was like, I am not facing a Reaper until I get the like shock upgrade for your Seamoth, which I love the Seamoth. I'm upset that they didn't bring the Seamoth back for the other game for below 0. But I suppose like story reason, the reason why you don't get a Seamoth is because it's probably Altera's, and your one wasn't working with Altera. But I hope they bring the Seamoth back for the next game, because that'd be cool. And then, when it comes down to it, yeah. Like, that is the thing with the Reapers, you can hear them, and because you can hear them, you can try and, like, maneuver around them, which I often ended up doing when I was playing it. And then when I eventually did get the, the upgrade for the Seamoth that allows you to, like, shock them, I felt braver then to, like, actually face Reapers after that, because I could just shock them and get them to leave me alone faster. Because the thing is, like, they can, like, hold on to you for so long that you could actually end up breaking your Seamoth. And I'm like, I am not building a new Seamoth. Because, like, I don't have... Because, like, you could get out of your Seamoth and then, like, repair it, which is some bullshit. I'm here, like, let me fucking repair it from the inside. Why do I have to get out and repair it? Like, if it grabs the Seamoth while you're still repairing it, you know what I mean? Because it can do that again. And I'm like, shit. Like, I was like, I'm not risking losing the Seamoth. So I was just like, I'm gonna wait until I have the upgrade before I face any Reapers. Oh, nice! Both of us caught the Zubat. And also, Joe, something funny that happened in my first gameplay of... Not my first. In this same gameplay of Subnautica, like the first one I've played in a while, literally, I got to the island, and I was trying to get to the island where you could, like, get, like, the beds, you know, like the food beds, like the garden beds or whatever you call them, like the things that allow you to grow stuff. I was trying to get those, but I went to the wrong island. I went to the island that had the big gun on it. That's not the right island. So I went to the wrong island, and I ran into the Warper, and I didn't realize I'd run into the Warper, because I had, like, gotten out of the Seamoth, and I was, like, on land or whatever. And then, literally what ended up happening was, that, I brought the Seamoth really close to the island, and then I looked at it, like, if I bring it too far inland, it could get stuck. It gets stuck on land, and there's nothing I can do about it then. So I was like, let me move it back a bit. And I didn't get the chance to, because a fucking Warper was right there, and it pushed on my Seamoth, and then the Seamoth did exactly what I was afraid was going to happen, and it got stuck on land. It was too close inland for me to get it back into the water. And it was the fucking Reaper, or not the Reaper, the Warper that did it. I was like, you fucking cunt. I was just about to prevent this, and then you pushed it. You were behind me the entire time, and you pushed the damn Seamoth inland, and now I can't get it off land. And it kept attacking me. I would be right there beside my Seamoth, on land, and I'd be there, like, trying to, like, find some way to, like, maybe, like, engineer, like, a pushing it back into the water somehow. At this point, I didn't have, like a repulsor blast or anything like that. I was, like, it was still early game. So I didn't have, like a cannon gun thing that will help me with that. I was just trying to see if I could cheese it. And it kept hitting me. The fucking Reaper was right there, and it just kept hitting me, just kept, like, clawing at me and shit, and I was like, fuck off. And it killed me, I think, at one stage, and I got back around to it, whatever, and I just, like, it was camping there, right beside my landed Seamoth, and I'm like, fuck off, would you? Come on, stop camping beside the thing I'm trying to get back. And all that ended up happening was, I ended up just closing the game, and then it said 1 hour and, like, 20 minutes lost, because I hadn't saved the game, so I was like, I've just lost 1 hour of stuff. And it sent me so far back, I hadn't even built the Seamoth yet, and I was like, fuck. I didn't even have the materials to make the sea moth at that point. I was like, fuck, I've lost so much. I didn't even get to the point where I had a sea recipe or something at the point. I was like, fuck, I went so far back. I lost so much. Whenever a reaper grabs my sea moth, I would just abandon it. I can make a new one. It's the roaring for me, honestly. The strong as fuck yell is like, I like the fact that like they're like they sneak up on you. They always come up from behind. They always come from behind you and they go roar, and then the big manacle things grab the sea moth. And the thing is, like, it takes care to like turn you around. Do you notice that? I think that's the creepiest thing. Is like, it's not just like grabbing you from behind and like tossing you around. It's taking the time to turn the sea moth around to roar in your face. I was like, so on some level, the Reaper is intelligent enough to know what your back is and to know what your face is. So it knows, right, if I'm an ambush predator, so I have to come up from behind. So I attack it from behind, but I want it to be afraid. I want it to see me. So I'll just turn it around so it can look me in the face while I'm biting down on it. And it's like, fuck. It has no bioluminescence at all. And it was supposed to originally have, like, at least the eyes are supposed to be bioluminescent, and then they decided not to do that. And I think the Reaper is one of the few creatures in-game that doesn't actually have any bioluminescence. I think it actually is. It's one of the very few that doesn't have any. And it was supposed to have at least a little, but then they changed their minds and removed even the little bit of bioluminescence that it had. And like the creepiest thing about the Leviathans, I think, is the fact that there's like, I think there's only like 2 sea dragons. Maybe there's 3. But there's like 2 sea dragons. 2 to 3 sea dragons. And you go to like the lava zone and you see Reaper bones. And you're like, what the fuck? And then like you can find information that literally says that sea fucking dragons come to the surface. It's like, they're like deep water dudes, but they come to the fucking surface, which is a terrifying thought, and they grab Reapers and they drag them down to the deep depths of the water into the lava zone, where they will then slowly roast alive, and then, and only after they've essentially been cooked to death, will the sea leviathan start eating them. So in other words, the sea dragon prefers cooked meat. It's fucking... And it won't kill the it won't kill the leviathan. It won't kill the Reaper. It will just wait until it cooks alive and then eat the now cooked meat. I'm like, fuck. Because isn't that a thing as well, that like we try to claim that like a show of intelligence is an animal using tools to like do shit? What does it say that a creature wants cooked meat and will use its fucking environment to get the cooked meat? Because there are creatures that live in the fucking sea, in the the lava zone, and they've like adapted to the point where they don't cook alive. You know what I mean? And it's just like, imagine exploring a planet just to see a giant Reaper being dragged into the Leviathan zone. That's actually, like, the thing is, it would actually be cool to see a sequence like that. To actually see, like, a sea dragon come up, and you're like, oh shit, and you try to leave, and then all you see it do is just grab a Leviathan Reaper, a Reaper Leviathan, and just fucking drag it away, and you're like, oh, damn, like, fuck, meal time, damn. And if you actually followed it, you can actually, like, that would be, like, a cool sequence to actually, like, see in-game. But, like, I know it's a lot. But, like, who knows? Maybe, like, mods or someone will do it. Because, like, Subnautica has, like, a lot of mods. I, like, watch a YouTuber, and he plays the mods through. So it can be fun. Like, did you see the mod for the what's it called? The gigantic Leviathan or something like that. And it's literally like Joe the Skull. Joe the Skull that you can see in the Lost River. I think the PDA actually says that it's from a juvenile. As big as that skull is, it's from a teenager. Not it's from like a young baby, a young teenager or whatever. Because like juvenile is usually the term for. Well, no, actually, I think juvenile is used for. It's like I always assumed it meant teenager. Like it was just like another way of saying teenager. But you know what? I think it just means like a baby, like young. So like that's either from a baby or a teenager. Either way, it's not from an adult. As big as it is, it's not from an adult, and it's like someone created a mod of that Reaper, and called it like the Gigantic Reaper or something, or the Gigantic Leviathan or something like that. And it's like, honestly, the Reapers, or not Reapers, the Leviathans in Subnautica are terrifying. But then you go over to fucking below zero, and the Leviathans there are they're not really that scary. I think like the one that comes almost just a little bit close, but not really, is the Shadow Leviathan. But it's not really that scary. It's mostly just like the place that you can find it is scary. The gigantic, yeah, Leviathan is terrifying, and the mod adding it was really well done. I've seen like so many different iterations of that mod. I've seen so many iterations of it, where like there's like another iteration where it's like, where what you call it, where they gave like the gigantic Leviathan like a similar ability that the Sea Empress had, where like it could start talking to you. I was like, fuck no. I don't want this thing talking to me and calling me food and shit. Fuck no. It bears in mind like what the fuck ended up killing the gigantic Leviathan in the first place. Did it just lose its food source? Like, what would you want to see in Subnautica 2? Because like I don't know what I want to see. I want to see Riley, and I don't know what we're gonna happen, because like I feel like Zero Dawn literally, not Zero Dawn, Below Zero literally set up Riley leaving the planet to go to the home planet of the archers, or the architects, and I don't trust it at all. So I'm just kind of here like, is that what we're gonna see? Like, is that what this kind of setting up, that we're gonna like find the architects and find out that they've been like kidnapping people or something, or like Riley has been being experimented on or something? Like what are we gonna see? In the mod, instead of the sunbeam being shot down, the gigantic Leviathan fucking eats it. I remember that, yeah. I think there's also a mod that has like Cthulhu or something in it, where like its tentacles like spring out at some point, and like I think it like the explanation there is that Cthulhu like reached out his tentacles and like dragged the Aurora down. I honestly just want an actually scary Leviathan and a similar environment to the first game. Honestly, same. I think that's the thing I didn't like about Below Zero, was that the Leviathans were just not that scary. Like literally, the first Leviathan we get in Subnautica is the Reaper, and it's still one of the terrifying Leviathans. Even if it's the first one you get introduced to, it's probably the cunt you have to interact with the most out of all the Leviathans. You know? So because of that, it ends up making it the more scary Leviathan, because it's the one you'll actually run into. Whereas, like, there's like a few enemies that you run into, and like some of them are like little stalkers or whatever. Like that's fine. You can kind of just like swipe your knife at them; they fuck off. But then there's like there's the Reapers, there's the Warpers, which is terrifying shit, And there's like the kraken like fucking squid dudes that like send out an EMP or whatever, and it like completely tanks all of your electronical devices, which includes like your sea moth and like your sea thing. Ooh, a Pikachu. I'm catching the Pikachu. Like, it allows you to... It says a wild Pikachu and then an F in brackets. So is that trying to say, like, it's a female Pikachu? But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, there's the squid kraken like dude, and he like sends out an EMP, and it completely like shuts down all your stuff. So it's like that's scary, especially when you're first like encountering it. Like it's just shutting down all your electronics. Like if you have your CMOD, it shuts that down. But the other way you have like that small like little electric device like makes swimming faster, whatever that thing is called. No, I think that's what's this a sea moth, a sea moat or something like that. That thing shuts down on you as well. Like anything with power in it shuts down, and you're like, fuck. That shit when you first encounter it is scary. Because you're like, what the hell? Why is none of my stuff working? I don't think I've got an answer. Like, oh yeah, I was about to say I don't think you answered me on... Oh, only one of us caught the Pikachu. It was you. Congratulations, Summit. Congrats. Oh god, all of us went for it. You're the only one who got it. Congrats. I don't even think I have a Pikachu. It's like the mascot of the entire game, and I don't think I have a Pikachu. Let me check my Pokemon game for a second. Oh my god, I've been forgetting to call random numbers for the bingo. It's not coming up for me. I was about to say I don't think you told me what you want out of the first game, out of the next game, but you actually did. I remember it now. You're saying, I honestly just want actually scary Leviathans in a similar environment to the first game. Yeah, I want to go back to having, like, scary Leviathans again. Because, like, even, like I literally just mentioned two creatures there that are not Leviathans, but were still scary, which were the Warpbirds and the Squid Dudes, whatever they're called. I can't remember their names, but, like, they have, like, an interesting sound, and they just break all your shit. And then there's, like, the Sea Dragon that, like, shoots fire at you. It's underwater, but it can shoot fire at you. I think my favorite out of all Leviathans is the Sea Empress. Because she's so graceful, and she can contact you psychically, and she like, gives off, like, mom vibes, and then, like, she is actually a mom, and it's kind of sad that she spent, like, how many years trapped in captivity, and she's there, like, what those other aliens tried to take, I give to you willingly. And, like, it kind of shows you that the reason why they couldn't get answers to what they were seeking before this, because she even said at some point in the game, I'm pretty sure she said, I tried talking to them, I tried connecting with them, but for some reason they just couldn't hear me. But you can hear me, can't you? And it's just like, it kind of goes to show, like, she tried to connect with these people, she tried to contact them, she tried to talk to them, she tried to be like, hey, don't fucking like imprison me, like, don't imprison my children, like, here's the antidote or whatever the fuck for the babies, like, let them go, like, something. She tried to fucking talk to them, and they just were not open, I guess, to be able to connect with her. Like, maybe it's because of the whole hive mind thing they've got going on, where they can all contact each other, but there's no link for, like, an outsider to be able to do the same. Which raises the question, like, one, is it that all, like, is it the case, like, the Sea Empress could have connected to any human? Or is it, like, someone about Riley was just that special? You know, like, or is it just, like, because the architects or whatever had their whole mental fucking thingamajig, they just weren't open to be able to connect with her. Or maybe it's, like, the lack of emotions things that also kind of played a role there as well, because, like, Riley has emotions because, like, human, And then there's Robin, who, as we were saying, like, Alan was starting to feel emotions through her. The thing is, like, once Alan got his own body back, he would have stopped feeling things, is the thing. And I'm just like, that would scare me. I'd be like, you've gone back to being unfeeling. Because the only feelings you've ever felt have been my feelings. And you've been able to feel through me, basically. And there's, like, a section of the game that kind of got removed from Below Zero. But it's a bit where Alan remembers facing a frozen Leviathan. So in his memories, he, like, sees the frozen Leviathan. And in his memories, it kind of reacts. And it, like, it awakens and it breaks through from the ice and it attacks. And then, like, it turns out it's just a memory from Alan. But, like, you feel fear. And you're terrified. And that's not you. That's Alan's fear. He's the one imagining the frozen Leviathan attacking. You know what I mean? It's his memory. So in other words, even if he didn't feel fear in the moment of being attacked by the Leviathan, at that point called Frozen Leviathan, now through Robin, I was about to say you because you're the player, but now through Robin, he's actually feeling the fear he probably didn't feel in the moment. You know what I mean? He's feeling it now. He's feeling terrified because she's experiencing his memories. And he's getting a front row seat as to what fear feels like. And, like, maybe, just maybe, he'll remember the feeling of fear and go, this is probably what I've done to other creatures. If other creatures have been able to feel this, so, like, the Sea Empress, if she's able to feel fear, she's felt this. If the Sea Dragons, because we know the Sea Dragons as well, there's, like, a point in the game, the Sea Dragons, where they start, like, taking the eggs of all these creatures, of all the Leviathans, of all creatures all together, I think. But I think mostly of Leviathans. And we see how there's, like, skeletons in the place, and, like, we're assuming that they were alive back in the day and they died in captivity because there wasn't anyone there to, like, feed them, whatever, so they just became skeletons in the facility. That's the assumption, I think. But, like, and we have evidence that a sea dragon mother tried to retrieve her egg and, like, bashed her skull in at the facility, which is one, the reason why the pathogen escaped in the first place to the rest of the planet, and two, they didn't consider that a mother would go and fucking try and get her egg or eggs back, and so they've miscalculated. They assumed they could just take an egg and it'll be fine. But this sea dragoness was like, fuck you, give me back my egg, I'll ram ya to get it back. And it's like, you can find the skeleton, and it's just like, she has a head injury. So, like, she died from, like, a concussion or something because she rammed the thing so much. And you're like, fuck. And, like, that's emotion. That is fucking emotion. That the sea dragon showed there. That was emotion. And they didn't calculate for emotion because they can't feel it themselves. I love the out of bounds area, the void. Yeah, because of all the sea leviathans, or the ghost leviathans. I actually forgot that they're leviathans. But the ghost leviathans, yeah. And those ones, I think, are the actual adults. Because you can find ghost leviathans in the Lost River, and I think those are only babies. I think they're only juveniles, like little teenagers or something. So the ones you find in the void are actually, like, grown or still growing ghost leviathans. It doesn't kill you, but it's so terrifying, you just don't want to go there. Honestly, that is, like, a really cool way of, like, putting, like, boundaries on the map. They literally, like, the bit where the computer or the PDA just goes, this is an ethological dead zone, and then you just meet ghost leviathans, which is, like, such a smart little pun. Ghost leviathans. It's like, damn, fucking alright, I'm leaving. Fuck that, like... I forgot about the ghost leviathans. I can't believe I forgot that. They're, like, the most bioluminescent cunts in the entire game. Anything else? We can circle back around to Zelda, but I don't know if anyone in chat really knows anything about Zelda or Horizon or any other game anybody is looking forward to. Let me actually check my Steam and see if there's any game I have on my wish list that I'm really looking forward to. Oh, Joan, I just remembered. Dispatch. It's not released yet, but it's coming out sometime this year. I'm looking forward to that game. That looks like such a cute little game. I've played the demo a few times now. I think I've mentioned that before, Dispatch. Also, another thing, if I'm looking at a sale and the sale is still too expensive, if I have to save in order to buy something that's on sale, it's not a sale. I'm now just looking at this game where it's like €60 or something, and it has 20% off, and it's €47.99. So basically, €48, basically €50, and I'm just like, that's still a lot of money. If I'm looking at your sale, I'm thinking that's still a lot of money. It's not a sale. Just saying. And what's killing me is Hogwarts Legacy is on sale as well, but I'm refusing to buy that one. And it's actually a good sale. It's a 75% sale, but I refuse with Hogwarts Legacy because fuck JK. I'm not giving that woman money. Right now I'm just looking at the store, the opening, like the way like when you open up and it just shows you the store. I'm just like looking at the store right now. Red Dead Redemption 2 is €15. I have that one on my wish list, but I've never played it myself. I think it's just because I've seen so many people talk about Red Dead 2 that I'm just like, I should probably put it on my list just to have it there. Even Boulder Gates 3, like, I want to play that game, but it's a lot of money, and I'm waiting for, like, a good sale of it. And right now it's 20% off, but that's still €48, which is, again, basically €50. I'm like, that's still too much money. Like, bring it down more. I've been, like, because, like, this game has been out for, like, a year now or something. I'm like, come on, it can come down more than this. Like, I want to try out this game. Like, it's been, I need it to come down lower than this, you know what I mean? I recently got our Red Dead Redemption 2 because my friend absolutely loves the game. It's really good. I like how open it feels. Is there stuff to do in the openness though? Because that's another thing with big games, with big open games. So like they can be really big and open, but they can be empty as fuck as well. Expedition 33 is also on sale, but it's only a 10% sale. So it's like it's €45, and I'm just like, that's still too much money. Right, I'm going to my wish list now. So other than Dispatch, honestly, because like Dispatch is going out this year, so like that's like the only game I can think of right now that's like of right now that I'm looking forward to. That's what I like. Those are tons of NPCs dotted around the map that give you things to do. Okay, cool. I can't remember when any of these sales end. July 10th. The 5th of July now. And July 10th is next Thursday. That should be fine. So just looking at it, I'm like, I bought groceries today. So I don't wanna, I wanna leave what little money I have left in my account to either buy more groceries or you know yourself, like just have the money in my account. so I don't want to like buy any games right now, even if a lot of them are on a good sale. Not a lot of them. Some of them are on sale. Beyond Two Souls, is that any good? Because that's on a really good sale right now. That has 90% off. It's $1.99. So like essentially €2. That's a good sale. I get why some games are super expensive, but I feel like some games would get more sales if they were cheaper. Honest the fuck, especially in this day and age, you cannot have super expensive things and expect like people to just buy it, because in this day and age, people don't have enough money for food. Never mind for games. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna prioritize buying groceries over a game. You know. Also, I'm calling a bingo card, a bingo number, because I've been forgetting to do it. So I'm calling 2 back to back. I get so into the chatting that I forget to actually make sure that the games are being played. Oh yeah, Trinity 64. Trinity 64 is an indie dev game, and they're a YouTuber, and they basically, it says a Souls-like monster tamer inspired by 90s retro adventure games. Fight and form bonds with powerful creatures, explore a ruined world and uncover secrets within dungeons and the bosses that lurk in them. So basically, it's Pokemon and Zelda themed. It's inspired. But like, don't let Nintendo hear that, because they'll shoot it down with a fucking rocket. Like, I think it looks similar enough that if you were into Zelda, you'd probably pick up on the Zelda-ness. But I do think they've made enough changes that like not much could actually be done about it. I hope. I said with hope. This is so sad. Oh, you're too poor to buy more Pokeballs. There's a few games that I want when it comes to the Nintendo stuff, and I'm like, I want Zelda, I want Pokemon. I'm just after remembering I want Astral Chain 2. Because I have Astral Chain 1 on my original Switch. And Astral Chain 2, I think 2 was confirmed, but we've heard nothing about it since. So like, that's like another game I'm looking forward to. But if it comes out anytime soon, I won't be getting it because I don't have a Switch 2. You know what I mean? It's like, once upon a time I would have been really excited for Astral Chain 2 to come out, but now I'm like, I don't want it to come out because I don't have the console, and I won't get the console until something changes. You know what I mean? Because like I was beginning to say about how I've been hearing about how people's Nintendo Switches, or Switch 2s, should I say, have been starting to malfunction, or not malfunction, get bricked on people, like actually getting banned and shit. And then someone was like contacting Nintendo, and I literally heard how people were saying that they were getting laughed at by like employees or whatever, saying that like, oh well, you shouldn't have done XYZ to like break it, and the person being like, I didn't fucking do anything to warrant this. Like, get me my stuff back. I didn't do a damn thing to warrant this. This is a mistake on your part. I didn't do anything to warrant this being broke, this being bricked. And then they literally getting told there's no way to undo it. There's no way to unblock your console. And the thing is, I think it's even a thing where like, if you, because it's linked to your account, not to your device. It's like, even if you buy a new console, the second you log into your account, that's it. It's bricked again. So the only option then is, because like at that point, the only option you can do then is just buy a new console and this time set up a new account. And even then, it might not work. Because I don't know like what. I don't know. I don't have enough intel when it comes to like information or anything. So it's like, the only other option would be to make a new account, buy a new console and make a new account, and hope that they can't link your new account to your old one. Because if they can link your old one to your new one, they'll immediately brick your new one, more than likely. I think I saw someone get their Switch bricked because their username was, that's right, that's the story I heard as well, Twink Link. I was like, that's ridiculous. You shouldn't be allowed to break someone's fucking console because of the name they chose to give, or username. Like, fuck you, Nintendo. Like, I knew you were being ridiculous, but that is even more ridiculous than I was expecting of you. Like, that is some right bullshit. Like, imagine if you're, like, here's a question. Say you're a YouTuber, and you're talking about, like, say you're a Nintendo YouTuber, and you're talking about Nintendo, and you're not, like, licking their boots, and you're like, I like this, but I'm complaining about this, whatever. Will Nintendo turn around and brick your fucking console because they don't like you talking bad about them? Like, fuck you. Like, if they're gonna break someone's console because they named the username is Twink Link, and they're like, oh yeah, broken, it's like, fuck you. And, like, I've heard how, like, in the EU, it's illegal for them to do this. But, like, there are some states in America where you're legally fucked because you don't have, like, rights to repair or anything like that. But, like, in the EU, any country that has, like, governed by the EU, we have rights. And so my assumption, my hope, is that Nintendo gets sued, just fucking sued, as far as Kingdom Come, gets a right kick up the arse, and that they fucking get some cop on. Like, I'm like, my Irishness is coming out of me here now because I'm fucking enraged. They shouldn't be pulling this shite. Genuinely speaking, someone names their fucking console Twink Link and they decide fuck you, brick, and it's tied to your account. So, like, getting a new console won't work. Like, fuck you. The second I saw that, I was like, I was right to hold off on getting a Switch 2. I was right. Like, I was cautious and I didn't jump in with the rest of them and get a fucking Switch 2 regardless. I was like, no, I decided to be cautious about it, and now I'm glad I did. I need Nintendo to be sued for them to go, we're removing the whole brick your console thing, and then I'm going to wait a bit longer to ensure that they actually, like, hold to it. That, like, there's no more stories about breaking, or if a console does break since or whatever, that they do undo it, you know what I mean? And then, if they behave for long enough, I might get a Switch 2, just so I can play my Pokemon, my Zelda, and maybe one day Astral Chain 2. It's like, I fucking... There was, like, a stream, like, an early stream before I really had any viewers. Yeah, like, especially, like, regulars, like you guys. Where I was playing Astral Chain on the stream. And I was basically talking about how I really like Astral Chain. And Astral Chain kind of left me wanting more. And if anything, there's this game called Dragon Quest XI, where, as a spoiler, okay, this game has been out for like 10 years or something now, but, like, its subtitles are called Echoes of Time, so spoiler alert. You can mute me for the next minute or so that way you don't hear this, but spoiler is that, like, part of the gameplay is time travel. There's, like, time elements in it, and you get, like, a kind of, like a taste of it early game, and then, like, mid-game, shit goes down, and then you have an entire playthrough where you get to the end, and at the very end, there's the option to go back to the middle of the game and replay from the middle of the game to the end again. But this time, because you time traveled, you know what shit's gonna happen, and so you can prevent and change things. But that leads to things being different and the different things can actually be worse than the thing you prevented, which is really fucking cool. Like, one of the things that you can change is that, like, you go back in time and you prevent this really bad thing from happening, but then it leads to the Dark One rising from the dead. And because of that, you realize that the dude that you fought at the end of the first part, at the end of part 2, wasn't actually the big bad. He was just the dude who was originally working for the big bad, overcame the big bad, and became the big bad, and then you took him down. But then you went back to the past, prevented how he got powerful enough to become the big bad, and so he was still just the underling. You defeat the underling, but now the big bad has the opportunity to come back full force, and does come back full force. And you're there like, what? You know, and it's like, it's beautiful. I love it gameplay wise. And I was literally thinking, I need this in Astral Chain. I need them to give me Astral Chain, a second Astral Chain. I was at first I was talking like Astral Chain 2, but no. Part of me is like, no, I need them to redo Astral Chain 1 and give me this storyline where I play through it the first time and just everything goes to hell in the first playthrough, and then at the very end, shit goes down, and I unintentionally get to travel back to the very beginning of the game, but then this time get to do it all again, this time knowing that's the big bad, that guy's gonna keel over, and that one is gonna, I don't know, backstab or betray or whatever, that one is alright or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, give me the option where I get entire gameplay of game, and then at the end of the game, travel back to the beginning or the middle or whatever, and then get to do it all again, but this time the player character knows shit is going to go down, and so reacts differently to things, and new different things happen because of it. I'm like, yes, give me now. Because the thing is, like, again, spoilers now for Astral Chain, but the player character is a twin. So depending on who you choose, so if you go in and you're like, I'm female, so you choose the female player character, then your twin brother becomes the voice character, and your twin sibling is always called Akira. Male or female, it's always Akira. It just depends on whether it's the female or the male. And there is voice acting, so there's like a female Akira and a male Akira. I always choose the female Akira because I'm female, so I always end up playing. I always have like the brother, basically Akira. So like whenever I think the sibling Akira, I'm thinking like male Akira. And you have your adoptive father called Max. And the spoiler is like chapter 1, episode 1, Max dies. I'm like, I didn't get to have this character long enough to be upset with his death. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be like stabbed with it, like hurt me from hurting the character. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to feel it, but this character wasn't around long enough for me to feel it. And the game kind of does have these moments where like you can see like your twin siblings' response to your dad now being dead. You can see the team's response to your dad and their captain, because he was the captain of the team. Your dad and their captain now being dead, and like one of the dudes on the team he's like been working with your dad for like years now, like because like Jin is his name, and I think he's like 30, and like your adoptive father is like in his 40s or 50s or something like that. But like Jin is like in his 30s, something like that. So like they've been working together since Jin was like in his 20s. So like they've been like working together for years, and like Jin like really admires Max and everything, and like basically Max introduced Jin to his kids, to his adopted twins. And so Jin is basically Uncle Jin. Like, literally, like, there's a scene with your twin brother where he talks about it, where he's like, God, remember, like, look at Jin, like, it's been a bit since we've seen him. Remember when he used to babysit us as kids? Remember when we used to refer to him as Uncle Jin? Oh, God, good times. And I'm just like, so you're giving us found family and then destroying the family. Got it. I was like, so like you kind of feel it because you see the NPCs reacting to the fact that Max is gone, and you don't really get to see much reaction from the player character. So your character, so in this case, like the female twin, because that's my character. It's like, and I don't like how the player character's twin becomes basically like the silent protagonist. That kind of annoys me. I'm like, let the player character feel like that is her twin brother. That is her adoptive father just died. That is her Uncle Jin over there mourning her adoptive father. Like, can you let the player character feel, please? Direction. Also, I'm calling bingo again. I'm calling numbers for bingo again. I keep forgetting to call random numbers for bingo. Also, I'm forgetting to check chat. Takes to make my mistakes. I love games that have unique concepts like that. Honestly, like, yeah, like I think that's what I loved about Dragon Quest XI. Like, Dragon Quest XI is straight up one of my favorite games. Hang on, let me check something actually. Because in my gaming profile, I have like the few games that are my favorites. So I have Forbidden West. I have, Horizon Forbidden West. Let me get it back up. Sorry, Horizon Forbidden West, Astral Chain, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. The reason why that game, particularly in the Zelda franchise, is my favorite, it's the Zelda game that got me into the franchise. Right, like I've played like maybe one or two Zelda games prior to it, but Twilight Princess is the game that got me into the entire franchise, and because that, it will always have a special place in my heart. And then Pokemon Legends Arceus. Here it is. Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. And then Horizon Zero Dawn. I have the remastered version there, but I'm having issues with the remastered version. But like just Horizon Zero Dawn. And then Control Ultimate Edition. But like you see Control there, like that's the game I was talking about earlier, that I said that there's a Control 2 is planned, and it's releasing sometime in like 2030, which is the same time Horizon 3 is releasing sometime, which is 2030. But yeah, in the gaming profile thing, like Astral Chain, there it is. And then Dragon Quest XI as well. So like they're both there in my. Honestly, you keep catching the Pokemon. Like they're all for you. The rest of us might as well not be here. But yeah, like you see there in my game profile that like the two games I'm talking about right now, Dragon Quest XI and Astral Chain, are both in my favorite options. If you go to my game profile, if you see the little heart, because it should bring you to my favorites immediately, but if it's not, it's the little heart icon, and it brings you to 7 games that I've listed as my favorite. I actually went to my Steam library, because on your Steam library you can also have favorite games. Because I know I have like Forbidden West and Zero Dawn in my favorites list there as well. Honestly, I can't find it right now. I only have my game. I only have my phone, so I can't actually check what my favorite options are. But I love the idea of Astral Chain. Like, I want them to re-release Astral Chain, but give me the option of time travel in it. Because like the funny thing with Astral Chain is, what I found funny about it was when I was telling my friend about Astral Chain, I was like, I showed them the opening credits, like the opening scene. I was like, I'm telling you now, this is not a spoiler, because you will know instantly who the bad guy is. Like, you will know just from the opening cutscene who the bad guy is. You will cop instantly. And I'm like, it's that guy, isn't it? I'm like, you would be right. That, because, like, the game... I mean, personally, I don't think it tries to hide it. But it does try to, like, kind of catfish you a little bit. But it doesn't really work, honestly. So it leads to this situation where the player character knows something that the player knows something that the character doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I knew going into it who the bad guy was. I was immediately like, it's you. It's you. It's definitely you. It's 1,000% you. I know it is. And then, like I was right. I ended up being right. But it's clear that from what the player character does, the player character is unaware that this person is most likely the person doing shit. And, like, I was spent the entire game going, I know it's that guy. Can we please arrest that guy? Can we? Can the game, like, point us in that direction, please? And it didn't happen, and I was like, no! And, like, what's funny is when I was saying it to a friend, I was like, it's so obvious who the bad guy is. I showed them the opening credit scene, and they immediately went, it's that one. It's him. It's this one right here. It's this fella right here. It's the one with the face and the eyes and the hair and the nose and you're one. It's your one. You know you're one. Like, that's such a typical Irish kind of thing. It's your one. It's your one. I know what you're one. Sure, she has the hair and the eyes and the nose and the eyes on her. And it's just like, you just described a human being. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, like, be vague about it, but honestly, it's so obvious. Like, it's not a spoiler at all, but I'm also trying not to be spoilery. At least not about that. But, like, I find it so obvious. Like, I showed my friend the opening credit scene, and they immediately clocked it. They're like, it's that one. And I was like, yeah. They were just like, it's obviously that guy because they have the evil smirk. You know? I was like, exactly. There's no hiding it. I was rereading that I think I'm goated. But, like, I just, like, imagine playing Astral Chain again, but this time, now the player character knows it's that guy. Because, like, again, I, as the player, went through the entire game, first time through, going, I know who it is. But it's clear the players, or the NPCs, don't know who it is. And I know who it is, and I can't fucking tell them who it is. So I spent the entire time going, it's that one. Arrest that one. He's over there. Fucking go get him. Go get him. He's right there. He's smirking evilly into the camera. Like, what? And I was just like, I spent the entire game just being like, come on. And, like, it's clear the reason why nothing happens is because the player character doesn't have that information. And so, like, on one hand, it is really cool, like, you know more than the player characters and the NPCs do. It is fun in that regard. But at the same time, like, if there was, like, a time travel component here, literally, now you can go back to the past, where now the player character is also in on the know that guy is the guy, and we need to fuck him up. I was like, how would that change things? For one, your adoptive father would live, because now you see his death coming, you prevent his death. There you go, Bob's your uncle. Your dad lives, and your uncle doesn't have to mourn. And your twin brother, in my case, my twin brother in game, would be fine because he doesn't mourn and grieve and do all the things. I'm not sure if you've ever seen or played it, but it's the complete opposite with Persona 5. The characters pick up on the villain, but the player doesn't. They're right there. Arrest them. Knock them out. Something. I love the idea of just Astral Chain just having, like, a time travel component where you can go back in the past, and now your player character is in on the know. That guy's the guy. Gotta go get that guy, and then how would that change things? And the biggest thing is your father would live. The team doesn't have to mourn him. Like your sibling would be fine because a lot of things happen with your sibling as well that I'm not getting into because that's like later game stuff. Like a lot of things happen with your sibling too. It's just like, right, you can prevent the things that happen to your sibling too. Like that sounds so funny though. The characters pick up on the villain, but the player doesn't. That sounds hilarious. I'd be there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? The characters keep talking about something I don't understand. Honestly, like I was saying that on the stream ages ago that I was like, I need them to re-release Astral Chain, but give me more of it. Because like the thing with Astral Chain is it gives you like pieces. Do you know the way like when you see enough of a trope, you can fill in on the trope. Do you know what I mean? Like you've seen like enough. I've forgotten every trope in existence. Like the smart girl and the jock or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like just from saying that, you can pick up all the tropes and the stereotypes and all the things, and you can fill in the gaps from there. Do you know what I mean? That is essentially what Astral Chain did. It gave you tropes, and then you filled in the rest of it on your own. It gave you enough tropes so you could fill in this and that and the other and Bob's your uncle and pin this and that you go and all this. It doesn't actually go into depth. Like first time through, I picked up on the tropes and then I filled it in on my own. And I didn't realize I was doing that. I thought the game was doing that. But then, second playthrough, I realized all I got was tropes and it didn't fill in on the tropes. It just gave me the tropes, hoping I'd fill in for it. And I did first time through. But now on a second time through, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is kind of bare bones, isn't it? Like, it wanted me to fill in the blanks and I did. But on a second playthrough, when I'm actually looking for detail, there's not a lot of detail. Like, there is like a point in the game where they give you a lot of files and stuff, and I'm not particularly good at reading through the files. So like I do have to kind of like look into like watching stuff to get the files, or like I'd have to like watch other YouTubers or whatever to like actually go over the files or something. But hang on a second. How do I... Because the only options give me is timeout or ban. I was like, how do I delete the fucking message first? Delete. No, but seriously, delete. It's still on my fucking screen though, even if it's not in the chat anymore. One second, sorry. So as I was saying as well with the I'm just gonna press some sound alerts to kind of get that off my screen. So random sound incoming. Random sound 1. This is the reason why I put the random sounds at the top, so it just gives me a really easy option to like... quick question for the few people who are here: are the earlier streams easier? Like, what would be a good time frame? Because I've been finding the earlier streams a bit easier. Hello there. Ow. Wonder if I can. Oh. Oh, no one caught it. Sorry, yeah, I was talking about Astral Chain. It's like, they have the option of Astral Chain to be able to just, have time traveling. Because, like, that's the thing. I was like, oh, the later ones are easier for me, but that's probably because I'm in a different time zone. What do you mean by the later ones? Are you talking about the Pokemon thing? What do you mean later ones? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was talking about the stream times. Yeah, so the later ones are easier for you. I was confusing myself there. I was like, what do you mean by later ones? What? But I was saying about Astral Chain that I would love to have the option to be able to like travel back in time in it. Like, that game, like, 'cause as I was saying before, that like it gives you tropes and then it doesn't expand on the tropes. It's like, first time through, you see the tropes and you automatically like mentally expand on them yourself. But then that's it. On like second or third gameplay throughs, you don't automatically fill in the blanks because you've played it before and you notice all the blanks. And so because of that, I'm like, I need them to re-release Astral Chain, but give me more. Give me more of the characters. Don't just like give me the stereotypes. Actually let the things be filled in. You know what I mean? And also give me like time travel elements so I can kick your man's ass earlier and save my adoptive father and save the team from mourning and save my sibling from XYZ things that happen later in game and shit like that. Like, save my sibling from one, losing our adoptive father, and all the other shit that happens there down the line. I'm gonna do one more because it'll be 13 numbers then. Like, for me, it says 13 numbers out of 50. So, I'm nowhere near bingo yet. Every time I'm like, this is gonna be a short stream, I end up like actually like staying longer. Because like, I always start the streams going, I'm really tired. It'll probably be just like 30 minutes or something. And then I actually pick up speed and find things to actually talk about. So like, I started this stream going, I have no idea what I want to talk about. So that's why I was like kind of throwing the ball out there, like, is there anything you guys want to talk about? But anything you just want to bring up? It's funny when like I go to take a drink, she just kind of freezes. I am one away from bingo 3 different ways. Nice. You're winning on all fronts. You're winning the 2 games I've got going on stream today. Or not even today, in the streams I have all the time now. Where I have stream bingo going and Pokemon community game going. And you're like catching all the Pokemon and you're in the process of getting 3 bingos in the bingo game. That's cool. Let me call another number. Let me call a few at a time. What was it? Something popped into my head there and then I forgot about it. Was it you that was here last time where someone in chat was saying that they are a shipper and then they didn't really go into any of their ships? Because I was about to talk about, like, because I think last time I was talking about Squid Games, and I was kind of thinking about how in the Squid Games there's this ship between the main character and the frontman. So, like, I think his character number is like 456. I think that's his number in the Squid Games, and like there's a ship between him and the frontman. And, like, I can totally see it. I see where the ship kind of comes from, and I can see the chemistry and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of cool. But I think that's what they call Old Man Yowie ship. And it's kind of funny. But I was kind of thinking more in depth into it. I'm like, why is this such a common thing in kind of media, especially Asian media? Like, why is there always some kind of, like, BL in some way? Like, even if it's never explicit, because it's never explicit. Like, there's always some sort of, like, heavily implied BL in some way. Like, you think of, like, the Bungo Stray Dog, there's definitely, like, Dazai and Shuya. Then there's implied, the heads of the different things, like Mari and the president, they kind of implied, and they kind of made me think, like, there's a lot of, like, implied BL stuff in animes that will never be explicit about it. And while I'm aware of things like queerbaiting and all that sort of stuff, it's kind of like, it's made me, like, Squid Game specifically started making me think of the fact that, like, they really just use, like, in the terms of, like, with player 456 and the frontman, it's just marketing. That's all it is. It's just marketing. And the thing that really hits that home is the I don't know if you've been hearing about it, but in China, a lot of, like, female authors, because it's mostly female authors, not all of them, because there's probably a handful that are men, but any author that has published BL and has, like, made a profit out of it, like, made money out of publishing BL, so, like, boy love romances, basically, they're getting imprisoned for it. They're getting thrown into prison for it. They're fucking murderers, rapists, pedophiles, and the like, and they're fucking imprisoning BL authors, which is mostly women in their 20s. It's pure misogyny, and it is homophobia as well. Don't get me wrong, but it's pure misogyny. And again, yes, I'm not ignoring the homophobia of it, because it kind of nailed home to me. Like, once I, like, thought of it, I was just like, so they're, like, in terms of, like, acting, not even in terms of acting, like, if you look at, like, the Squid Games, they're, like, heavily implying this like, ships between, not like ships, but, like, you know for a fact that Asian like, what am I saying, Asian creators or stuff, they know that, like, LGBT things sell. You know, they know it. So what they do is they heavily imply their shit. And so they knew that if you do XYZ, that player 456 and the frontman people will start shipping them. They knew that. And then you see the actors and the way, because, like, they're probably, like, contracted to, like, in every single shoot, the actors are always, like, close and buddy and smiling together. And it's the same thing, like, other things. It's part of the marketing. Seeing the actors of the characters getting along so well and having chemistry outside of the acting or whatever really helps sell the whole thing of it. And it's just like, So like from 1 minute like you're heavily implying BL ships to then also like there's parts of the country where young women are being jailed for writing, publishing, and making money off of this shit. And I'm just like, I was like, can you imagine? Can you imagine being in prison? And they're like, what are you in for? And it's just like, oh, I murdered my abusive husband, or oh, I was selling drugs, or oh, I was doing X, Y, or Z other illegal things. Like, what are you in here for? I published BL stuff. You know? Bingo? Did you get bingo? Bingo? I haven't seen. Oh, I should remove the Together for Pride thing because Pride Month is unfortunately over. Ow. Hey, there you are. Summit, you're on the leaderboard. Is there supposed to be like a thing? There it is. Summit winner. Summit. There you go. That scared me. Just the immediate yes. I was like, what? So, should I keep the game going for anybody else that might be playing? Is anybody else playing? Is anybody else close to a bingo? Should I keep going, or should I end this game and start a new game? Just let me know. I'll wait for a few more minutes. I'll call a few more numbers, just in case. Because I did that before where I just ended the game and someone was like, no, I was like, what away from a bingo? I was like, wait, oh, I didn't know anybody else was playing. So I'm going to wait until anybody else in chat is like, oh, I'm still going. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, it just, they know that, like, LGBT stuff sells, and it's just, they know that the women will come out in droves for the BL stuff. And, like, if you want an actual successful thing, you have to appeal to women. That's a known thing, regardless of whether you like it or not. Like, how many times is, like, I heard, like, recently how, like, a comedian crashed out because his audience was mostly women, and he was trying to appeal to men, and so he's crashed out and tried to be really appealing to men. But it's just like, men aren't loyal to you the way a female oriented thing would be. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, the market is shit for women as well, though, because like the likes of Young Justice, it got cancelled because they found out that the audience was mostly young girls. And it's like, it wasn't only young girls, it was just mostly young girls. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, the reason why you had such huge viewership is because the girls are tuning in. What the hell? I was like, that's so disparaging to know that, like, if you're a favorite, if this is your favorite series, it will get cancelled if it's mostly girls fucking watching it. So if that was me, the thing I would learn from that would be like, because like my question is, how the fuck did they find out that most of the people watching Young Justice are girls? And it's like, it's probably because they're doing surveys and shit. So immediately, like, if I ever get a survey like that ever again, I'm gonna fucking lie on it. I'm gonna be like, I'm male. Because fuck that. I don't want my favorite shit getting cancelled just because, like, the fandom is mostly female. It isn't the same thing that happened to Supernatural, where it was almost cancelled because women. And I think for some reason it kept going for a bit longer because of something else, some other reason. I wonder why the bingo thing is not showing up on my screen though. It's like it's coming up in chat for sure. I'm seeing that like on my phone, but it's not coming up on the screen. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing like stream bingo number called, and then I'm seeing stream bingo winner in chat, but I'm not seeing it on the screen. I don't know why it's not showing up on screen. Like, is there something I'm supposed to do to get it to show up on screen? Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about? We can talk about... Oh, nice! I caught whatever that Pokemon is. Let me check it out. Let me see what it is. I don't actually know what it was. Because I was waiting to be able to see it on screen, and it didn't show up that time on screen. So I caught it, and now I'm like, right, what's the prize Pokemon that I catch? Because I don't know if I know that one. It's like, I don't know the Pokemon by name. You know what I mean? Like, if I read their names, I'm like, I don't know what that is. But if I actually see it, I'm like, oh, I know that one. Oh god, I know this one, yeah. It's one of the new ones. It's one of the ones from... From Violet. From Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's one of those ones. So it's one of the newer ones. Thank you, Summit. The other way I was talking earlier about Dragon Quest XI as well. Literally in that game, there's the player character who's known as the Luminary or the hero, but like their in-game title is like the Luminary. And then the blue-haired dude that you see like in like the promotional art, whatever, his name is Eric, and he refers to you as his partner. So he refers to the Luminary as his partner, because partners like so gender neutral and like it can mean fucking anything. It can mean whatever you want it to mean. Business partner, like a work partner, whatever, like however you want to put it. Romantic partner, so on and so forth. But like they're so cute. The heavy implications of like a romantic undertone between the characters is just so adorable. Especially between the Luminary and Eric. It's like this game has me shipping them. I was like, fuck, I ship the Luminary and Eric. And there's not a lot of fics for Luminaric. I'm like, I need more Luminaric fan fiction. I've read through all the good ones already, and all the good ones as well. They're not finished. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are still ongoing, thankfully. But a lot of them have like a few chapters, and I haven't seen them being updated since. I'm like, come on, come back. Give me my fanfiction. If I can, like, I would love that. I would love the idea of, like, just, like, bringing attention back to Dragon Quest XI of, like, write me more fanfiction of Luminaric. Also, ugh. There, like, when it comes to fanfiction, there's this thing called Dead Dove Do Not Eat. I found 2 of them in the Luminaric thing. I didn't know what Dead Dove do not eat meant at the time. It basically just means don't fucking read this if you can't stomach like really heavy topics. And I did not know that. And so when I found 2 different do not eat fics, I didn't know what they were. And so I read part of them, and like I couldn't finish either of them. I think both of them had like 20, 30, 40, 50 chapters, and neither of them were actually completed yet. They were still like ongoing. And I think for one of them I got like about 10 chapters in, then I was like, why is this so heavy? When is the heaviness gonna stop happening? So I'm so used to like my fanfics have like a little bit of angst and then like hope and like happiness and everything, kind of coming back into it, and getting away from like the bad shit. I'm like, why is the bad shit getting heavier and heavier? Like, why is things getting worse? What the hell? I'm not used to this level of fucking angst. What the hell is going on? And then I looked up what the fuck does dead dove do not eat, because that was like the only like tag I didn't understand, and I was like, oh, okay, and I dropped that fic immediately. And then with the second fic, I didn't read the tags properly enough, so I completely missed the dead dove do not eat. And so I was reading through it, and I was like, wow, this is really heavy. When's the heaviness going to stop? When is this going to let up? Like, when's Hope going to come back into the story? Like, is Hope in the room with us? Or has she been taken out back and shot? I was just like I got further in that one. I think I got like a few chapters in, and I just like, what the hell? So I reread the tags, and then I finally spotted the dead dove doing eat, and I was like, oh, that's why this is so heavy. And I fucking dropped the fic immediately. And I was just like, fuck. So whenever I go into the Luminaric fandom, I always make sure to remove the dead dove do not eat. Like, I always go into the tags and I say exclude dead dove do not eat. So I've started reading both of them, and then I was like, oh, these are not for me, and I fucking dropped both of them. But like, I need more Luminaric fics, because I've read all the good ones and they're really good. They are. But, like, I need more. They're so cute together. I need more of it. Because I'm so used to being part of like big fandoms. I have like thousands and thousands of fics. And then just to come to this fandom that only has like a few hundred. And I've read through all the best stuff. It's like, come on, give me more. I love how the chat always goes quiet when I talk about fiction. Fan fiction. They're like, no one wants to engage. They're like, nope. Oh, wow. Ow. Whew. I thought that was regular water. I didn't realize it was actually the flavored water. Because you're the way, like, when you get, like, a bottle of water, and then you drink the water, and then you refill it with, like, tap water or whatever. I thought this was, like, a refill. I didn't realize it was still the original water, because I'm actually tasting, like strawberries and berries in it and stuff. So I didn't realize. I was expecting just regular water, and then I got actual taste. I was like, oh shit. Or I got actual flavor, and I was like, oh shit. I think I also mentioned before that, like, Link and Zelda is technically my only straight ship. And funny enough, I was talking about like ships before, as well, like on a different ship, on a different stream ages ago, and I think I started talking about Control, and I was talking about like theories about Control, which is the video game I mentioned earlier, Control, and then that led to me talking about how I ship the two women in the game. And then from there, I started talking about all my female ships. Basically, I was saying that I don't have that many female ships, like woman x woman ships. So that like I started naming the few that I could remember off the top of my head. Because I think I had like maybe 5 or 6 in total. So I think I was trying to name them off. So I was like, I have so few female ships that I should be able to name them off. And so I was just like, these two, and then I was trying to name them off. And I do think I got a lot of them. I do think because like, I don't know if I actually named all of them, because I think I ended up like cutting myself off. Like, once I remembered, like, oh, I shipped these two, I was like, oh, and by the way, there's a series about this, and I went talking about that instead or something. But it's so funny that, like, how I can, like, kind of bring shipping into everything. The way, like, my friend keeps accusing me of bringing MHA into everything. I'm trying to do that with shipping instead. And, like, I'm not even trying to do that with shipping, it's just, like, shipping is coming to mind, because, like, it's a thing I do a lot. And the funny thing is, as much of a shipper as I am, I don't have any ships, not really, in MHA. like I have like one good ship, but it's mainly the fandom version of the ship. Like, have you ever had that where like there's the canon and then there's the fan version of something? I prefer the fanon version of that ship rather than anything going on in canon. So as I'm concerned, in canon it can crash and burn. But in fanon, it can actually flourish if done right. Everyone gets quiet when it comes to the shipping. No one wants to fucking engage with the shipping. I'm just moving around a lot, and she's just like, I'm over here. I'm here. Over here. So I'm just like twisting my head. And she's just like all over the place. Game profile thing is not coming up. Do you know what's funny? I'm not trying to be quiet. Do you know what's funny as well is that usually whenever I start reading a fic, I download it immediately. And this time around I didn't because I was reading the comments. So I read through chapter 1 of this new fic I was reading, and I was reading through the comments. And then when I clicked like the next button or whatever, it said that AO3 was down. I was literally in the middle of just starting a new fic. What do you mean AO3 is down? And it stayed down for like 10 hours. And I was like, no. Because like usually I download a fic as soon as I find something and then I have it on my phone. I can just read it from there. I would have been fine if I did my usual routine of immediately downloading it. But I didn't do it this time, because this time I was like, I read through all of chapter 1 and then I went into the comments to read through the comments instead of actually downloading it like I normally do. And then it's like, fuck, I should have stuck to a normal routine and downloaded it, and then I could have been reading this fic and not noticed that AO3 is down. Because every so often after that, because I had started a fic that I now couldn't continue, I was like constantly checking back with AO3. I was checking the status of it. Because it was like, oh, it'll only be down for a few hours. So like every hour or so I was like checking back, like, is it back yet? Is it back yet? Is it back yet? That's the first time it's ever happened to me. Because the last few times the AO3 has been down, I've had my like downloaded library. And I did have my downloaded library this time as well. But because I had started a fic before AO3 went down, and I didn't download it, all my mind was craving was the fic that it started and couldn't finish because AO3 was down. And I was like, if I had just followed my usual routine and downloaded the fic like I usually do, I'd be fine now. But I didn't. So I screwed myself over. I remember telling you that I don't really read many fanfiction, but since I have... I remember telling you I don't really read many fanfiction, but for some reason, but since I have actually read a few. So I'm assuming what you mean is since like you start like watching me and like listening to me talking about fanfiction so much, you start actually reading a few since the last time you mentioned that you didn't read that many. So you've read a few since then. Do you mind like talking about it? Like you don't have to go into depth or anything, but like if you want to just be like if you want to like talk about like the ship that you've shipped that got like whatever ship it was that you're reading about. You don't have to talk about like the ship itself or the fanfic itself if you don't want to. Should I actually talk about like the fanfictions I've read? Cause like, I want to talk about the ships I read, but should I be talking about some of the ships I read? Cause I've seen this thing on TikTok as well, where like I see people like recommending fics, and I do see that, and like I've found some really good fan fiction through that. I have a delay and I don't know when to talk because you might have moved on. I remember telling you that I don't read fanfiction for some reason, but since I have read a few. How bad is the delay, by the way? Because I don't know if the delay is my fault or not. Because it does say on my thing that like it's like 10 VPS. Like the delay might be my fault. So like if like now that I know that there's a delay, I can just kind of wait. It's mostly One Piece fanfiction because that's my favorite show and one of the only ships I'm certain about with Zora and Robin. Oh no, the Pokemon escaped. I think I knew that Pokemon. I wanted it. I think it's like the little butterfly one. Not like the not Butterfree, but like you know the new little fairy one. The main thing that I know about One Piece is that I know that Luffy, I think the main character's name is, that he's mostly headcanoned as Ace Arrow. Oh, this is not the one I thought it was. The Pokemon, I mean. I'm just after checking the Pokemon. It's not the Pokemon I thought it was. It is a fairy type though, and it is one of the new ones too. It's that ostrich looking one. Like it evolves into the ostrich thing. The delay is normally not bad, but right now it's like a minute. To be fair though, it's great that you're reading a bit of fanfiction because fanfiction can be a lot of fun. Honestly, and I like, because like you're saying that like, what was it, that it's one of the fics that you're sure of. So I'm assuming it's because like it's either like really close to canon, or is it like practically confirmed canon. It's mostly One Piece fanfiction because that's my favorite show and one of the only ships I'm certain about with Zora and Robin. So it's like, do you ship it because it's close to canon or it is canon, or because like what do you mean by one of the only ships you're certain about? Like how what does it take for you to be certain about a fic or about a ship? I didn't call any numbers, did I? Because it says here. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, and I didn't get a response back as well about starting a new fic. Starting a new bingo game. I'll call one or two more but numbers and then okay. Oh, it's not even close to canon, but I really like them together. Okay. So like, what does it take for you to like really like them together then? It's like you were saying that they're one of the only ships that you're certain of. It's like, what does it take for you to be certain of a ship? Because like everyone has their own kind of things when it comes to shipping. Like I've seen popular ships that you couldn't pay me to ship, and I've seen ships that like I can see why people ship it. It's just not my cup of tea. But then there's ships that I'm like I don't understand why. I don't understand why people ship it. And there's other ships that I'm like, ship. That's my ship. Ship. Like it's like a just like a different thing every time. Where it's just like either it's my ship or I see why people ship it, but it's not for me, or I don't understand why it's shipped at all. You know what I mean? It's like for you, like what is your kind of like what does it take for you to like a ship? I should have said certain, but just my favorite. Oh, I shouldn't have said certain, just my favorite. Okay, so those are like that's your favorite ship. Okay. Like and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like for me, I've seen popular ships. And like I hate it when you're in a ship in a fandom that has like a popular ship, and if you don't ship the popular ship, you're kind of screwed. And like in MHA, there's so many popular. There's like a few popular ships, and I don't ship any ships in MHA. Not really. Like there's like one ship that I ship in MHA, and I have to like be very like I have to like filter the hell out of it because there's a lot of like kind of things in it that I don't ship. There's a lot of things that I don't that I'm not okay with that I have to filter this out and filter that out and filter the other thing out. The like it's actually really annoying when you're in a fandom that has a popular ship and you don't ship the ship, and it's just like MJ has like plenty of ships and I don't ship any of them, not really. And then join the likes of Voltron, the like legendary defenders. Have you heard of that? I feel like I ship people that I feel like their personality is similar. I think for me, like with Zora and Robin, they both act like the parents to the other characters. So basically, they're the mom and the dad of the group. Is essentially what I'm hearing. Which honestly, having them kind of like in that space can make shipping them really easily. I remember in Star Wars Rebels before I realized that because like the main ship of that is Hera and Kanan. And I think the main reason why they started getting shipped is because people started seeing them as like space mom and space dad. That like they have like this little found family going on, and he's basically the dad and she's basically the mom, and they kind of started getting shipped because of that. And it's like it was only like later down the line I realized they were an actual couple, and it wasn't just shipping father. And I was like, oh goddamn. Um, and like when characters are like the mom and the dad, it's very easy to be able to like ship them. Like, is that like a good way of putting it for you? That like they're essentially the mom and the dad of the group. Zora and Zoro and Robin are basically the mom and the dad of the group, and so like you're shipping the mom and the dad of the found family together. Right. Now I'm starting a new bingo game. So I'm gonna be going for a little bit longer. I can already finish at 11:30. So. Because for me, I think like I was saying, like with clans, with Voltron Legendary Defenders, a big ship there was clans. I swear to fuck, I could not see it, and that was a huge ship in Voltron. And I swear to hell, I could not for the life of me see it. Like I at times I couldn't really see them as friends that much. But like it was such a huge ship that it kind of like it kind of pushed me out of the Voltron fandom, or like at least AO3, like, you know, of the fanfics, because it was such a huge ship. And I think at the time I didn't really know how to filter fics, so I didn't know how to like not find fics that had clans in them. So I chose not to read them. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's like, yes, like the mom and dad like group really is like, I can see that. I can see why that would be very easily to ship. For me, honestly, I think it's like a lot of like chemistry for me. I don't know like how else to put it. Cause for me, like Clans, it was a big ship, but I didn't ship it. And I think the reason why, because I didn't see enough chemistry between them. I didn't see them having enough in common. I didn't see, like, if anything, the few small interactions you saw of them, like I see people like pulling the like few interactions that Link, that Lance and Keith had, and kind of like try to be like, oh, this is an entire ship or whatever. I'm like, all that really is an indicator that Clance is probably, or that Keith is into guys. If you want to view it that way, you can view it that Keith is into guys. That's the only thing you can do with it. It wasn't enough for me to actually ship them as a pair, you know? And everything else is basically just friendship and teamwork. And I was just like, I'm not seeing enough chemistry here for them to be a ship to me. And like, it kind of came across to me as mostly like, you know, baby shipper's first ship. You know what I mean? And it just happened to be huge because I think a lot of like new people were in the fandom or something. Like a lot of new people to fandom shipped it because it was kind of bare bones to me. It was too bare bones for me to ship it. Like, I was shipping fucking Lotor and Alara. What was her name? Alara. I think I got that right, actually. I was shipping those two. Like, he could have and should have come back from the dead some way, somehow. Or, like, not died in the first place. Or something. Like, I think him and Yawan could have worked it out. Because for me and, like, Lotor, I think the reason why he did what he did was we saw in his memories how he tried to get Quintessence the right way, and how he was punished for it by the entire planet being murdered, like just mass genocide across the board, where the entire planet was just destroyed. So I can see him doing both with the whatever the name of like her species was called again. I can see him doing both. I can see him having a safe haven planet where people just like lived and were probably giving free quintessence or whatever, but he had to have like this kind of cruel way of harnessing other quintessence in another way to kind of like wave away. You know what I mean? Because like he tried to get it the right way the first time, and the entire planet died for it. So I can see it that like he did the thing that he did as a kind of backup to kind of be like, that if the planet got found out, discovered in any way, he could be like, actually, I am being maniacal and cruel and horrible about it. See how I'm stealing quintessence over here? That's not possible without this thing here. You know what I mean? Like, I can see it that he was trying in a roundabout way to both be the good guy and the bad guy at the same time, where he's like, I don't want to do this second horrible thing, but it could potentially, in the long run, prevent fucking my homicidal mother and father destroying the entire planet on me again. You know what I mean? Like, is it still horrible? Sure. But, like, his literal parents have destroyed planets before because he was being too good. He was being too kind. He was being, you know... Oh... he was being too kind, and because like the entire planet kind of died for it, and so I was just kind of like that. there was a way to like for it to be okay. I didn't ship Clance and I didn't ship Alora and Lance. That was a stupid fucking thing to throw at us at the last minute. Like, he was 1,000% just a rebound to her. 1,000%. And, like, Clance deserves to be more than that. Like, I didn't like Lance as a character. He's kind of a boring character to me. But, like, he didn't deserve to be your one's... He didn't deserve to be her rebound to get over the guy she was actually in love with. Because she did have feelings for Lothar. And then, like, she found out he did this thing, felt betrayed by him, kicked his ass, then he died. And, like, the question is, we don't really know if she found out if he died. I think she might have picked up on it, I can't remember that. And then immediately moved on to Lance, the guy she knew had a crush on her since season 1. And this is, like, season 5, or 6, or whatever the fuck. And it's just, like... You immediately moved on to the guy you knew had a crush on you. You know? Make my mistakes. Like, it screams you're rebounding from the guy you actually have feelings for, because you don't want to have feelings for him, so you're rebounding. That's all it was for her. It was just a rebound. And it gets treated like fucking a decade-long love, and it's like, it's not. And the thing that really annoyed me about it is, like, Lance in a lot of ways was coming off as a nice guy, and so I kind of liked the fact that he was being repeatedly rejected. Like, I was kind of hoping that his whole shtick would be learning to take no for an answer and realizing she doesn't have those feelings for you, and she's not obligated to have those feelings for you, and you should move on and find fucking someone else. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, the nice guy needs to learn that constant persistence isn't gonna get them the girl. They need to learn that, like, that just because you have feelings for someone for a long time doesn't mean that it's like, I unfortunately have to leave, but I hope you have a great rest stream. That's fine. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna keep talking for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna head off. But thank you for being here. It's good to see you, Summit. I'll see you Monday, because I'll be back Monday. Hopefully. And if I'm not back Monday, I'll try and do Tuesday to make up for it. So, see you again. Thank you for being here. I can't wave. I'll be on for a few more minutes though. I wanted to finish my point. I was kind of hoping that, like, he'd be allowed to move on from her, instead of she uses him as a rebound, and then it just goes from there, and I don't like that. Like, because I really did like the fact that she was rejecting him, and it did seem like at first, like, he was actually gonna move on from her, because, like, she got a boyfriend and all these things, and then she started showing interest in him after her boyfriend, like, betrayed them or whatever, and just, like, that's annoying. That is actually annoying. I was hoping that it would be, like, the nice guy who kept pursuing, even though he was told 1,000 times over that she doesn't have those feelings for him, that she only sees him as a friend, would eventually realize that his constant pursuit of her feelings, that his persistent of his feelings, won't magically make her have feelings for him. That's what I was hoping for. And that's not what happened. And I'm not pleased with that at all. Like, genuinely speaking, there were, like, there didn't need to be, like, she didn't, like, I didn't ship Clance, and I didn't ship Lance and Alora, and I did ship Alora and Lothar, and I don't know, I don't want to be talking about Voltron, honestly. I just want to mention that, like, the storyline should have been, nice guy finally accepts no for an answer and moves on, you know? Like, it would have been more impactful that way, especially considering, like, she'd said no 1,000 times, and you had that, like, he asked her out after Lothar's betrayal, and she still says no, because she's like, no, because I literally just broke up with someone, and 2, I still don't have those feelings for you. Like, I have those feelings for Lothar, but I don't have those feelings for you. Like, I may be angry and disgusted right now at the fact that, like, Lothar did what he did. Like, that doesn't mean I magically have feelings for you. I don't know. There was, like, I hate it. I hate the fact that, like, he was a rebound. He was a rebound. One, he deserved to be more than a rebound. I didn't particularly like Clancy as a character. He was kind of boring to me in a lot of ways. But, like, he didn't deserve to just be her rebound after seasons of her going, I only like you as a friend. I would have loved the storyline be, like, that he finally accepts that they're only friends, that they'll only ever be friends, and to just let it go. There's also the thing with Shiro as well, is that, like, there was this thing with Shiro where we got told in you know, like, fan meets and things, you know, like the fan things where it's like, you know, like, Comic-Con and stuff like that, where, like, the creators talk to the fans, and the creators kept implying that we were gonna learn that Shiro was gay and we were gonna meet his fiance. And the thing is, like, when it does happen in the show, there's nothing indicating that Shiro is gay and that the guy that we're meeting is his fucking fiance. Like, anyone who didn't hear about that interview and then therefore watched the interview that said, hey, this character is called Adam and he's Shiro's fiance, if you didn't see that interview, you would not know from watching the show that's Shiro's fiance. You would just think they were roommates, that they were best friends that had a falling out, that was it. Because, like, that's the only thing that it implies. They were just roommates, they were just friends, they had a falling out. That was probably the last conversation they've ever had to with each other before, like, Shiro went missing. And then presumably died. And then, like, Shiro comes back to find out that Adam died while he was away. You know what I mean? It's just like Adam thought that Shiro died, and Shiro thought that Shiro comes back to, like, they thought that Shiro died, and then turns out he comes back to Earth. It's like, yeah, I was just kidnapped. I did and didn't die, and then comes back to Earth to find that Adam, his fiance, died. And literally only died hours before he actually came back to Earth. So, like, Adam was, like, a few hours away from learning that his fiance was still alive. And it's just like, it's the bury your gaze. It's like, there's nothing in the show to indicate that they were actually a couple. Nothing in the show to indicate that they were gay, that they were fiancés. Because, like, the only thing that you get is that they're clearly living in the same space. Like, that could be literally just them as best friends and roommates having the same quarters. There was, like, no kiss, no, like, I'm breaking up our engagement, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, no actual indicator that they were an actual couple. Everything was just, like, that they had a fight. They lived in the same space, they had a fight, and it was the last interaction they ever had. And then it was all in one episode. It was a flashback scene where Shiro was thinking back to the last time he saw his fiance, which, again, the only reason I know his fiance is because I saw the interview. Without that interview, I would have just assumed, oh, it's his friend. You know, his best friend. The last time he ever talked to him, it was an argument. And then he left for his mission, and then went missing on his mission, and then all of Voltron happened, and then he comes back to Earth to find out literally just a few hours ago that his quote-unquote best friend just died. Because of the first, like, invasion or whatever. And it's just like, if I didn't see the interview and I had the information that they were fiancés, nothing in the show would have indicated that they were fiancés. I'm like, fuck you for telling us this and then giving us nothing in the show to indicate it. It's just, it's insane. Oh. There's all the bingo numbers now. So, I don't know. I don't like the fact that, like, that is, in my book, that was essentially queer baiting. That was telling the audience, hey, gay thing will happen in show, and then there's no real true indicator that they were romantically involved in the show. Like, there's Shiro being sad about it, absolutely. Like, most people, including me, if I wasn't aware of that interview, I would have immediately written off as they were roommates and friends. They were best friends. But I wouldn't have assumed fiancés. You know, if it wasn't the fact that I went in hearing about that interview, knowing that the character's name was Adam and he was Shiro's fiance, I would have watched that scene not fucking knowing that this was supposed to be a scene about fiancés and how this was their last fight and how this is the last time they've ever fucking seen each other and how literally the last time they ever saw each other was an argument. And then for Adam, he had that argument with his fiance. Shiro goes on what is supposed to be his last mission, because it's supposed to be like like a there and back type of a thing, and that doesn't end up happening. They end up going missing on that mission. So Adam, as far as he's concerned, he had an argument with his fiance. Then his fiance goes missing on the mission. And then all he has to think about now for the next how long is that, like, the last thing I've ever done with my fiance was fight with him. You know, and then he spent how long believing Shiro was dead, or missing action, or just dead, and then how long later, like a year or two later, because I don't actually know how long all that is for Earth, but however long later, aliens invade Earth. He's one of the first people that gets into like a fight or flight, whatever you call it, to go and defend his planet, and he dies in that alien invasion. He dies trying to protect his planet, and then like almost immediately after him, the squadron is taken out, Voltron shows up. Who's in Voltron? But his fiance is dead all the time, just for like them to like come down, save everyone, and then they come out of the giant planet thing, out of the giant robot thing, and they're like, holy shit, it's humans in the giant robot thing. And then they come back from that, it's Keith, and it's Lance, and it's Pidge, and it's Hunk, and it's Shiro. Shiro, you're supposed to be missing and dead. Like, it's like, no, he's not alive. And then he's like, where's my fiance? The person the last the last thing I ever did with them is have a fucking argument with. It's like, he literally just died 2 minutes ago. He was introduced and died in the same episode. I think that's the thing that pissed me off the most. In the same episode, he was introduced and he died. Same episode. I don't think this thing is calling numbers anymore. So, I don't know, like, it's not good enough in my opinion. I mean, it's more than an opinion, but like, well, I don't think I'm the only one that had that opinion. Like, literally at the very end then, we have like a scene of Shiro kissing some random dude, and we don't really get a name for the random dude. It's just, we find out later that his name is Curtis, and it's like, it's once again, like, it comes out of nowhere. It's like, who's this guy? Where did he come from? Like, how long has it been for you guys? Like, has it only been a handful of months? How is it in a handful of months you managed to, like, get over the fact that your fiance died? Like, and for some reason the Pokemon is not showing up anymore. It started to malfunction on me, and it's done that like for the last like 3 or 4 Pokemon in a row now. So clearly this thing is exhausted. So it's been a 3-hour stream. It's good to have been here. Sorry for missing yesterday, but I streamed today to make up for it. I don't know if I should stream longer to make up for not doing it yesterday, or if this is good enough. So I don't know if there's any other topics I'm into. I mean, I could keep talking. I can just keep talking to the wall and just talk about some other ships that I ship, but like, I don't know. Usually, for last however long, I would start the stream at 11:30. And because I streamed earlier today, I was like, well, I could end the stream at 11:30, and right now it's 11:35. So I don't know. Can I fix this while I'm here? Or should I? No, I don't think I'm allowed to fix it live, which is a shame, because that would be the easiest time to see when it would be best to fix it. Because I don't like the way it's like Pokemon community game, you know, like the way it looks. Like if I could just like stretch the chat out a little bit further, could have at the very least Pokemon community all in one word. But that's only the title, maybe like, because I could just stretch it out a bit further. Or maybe just like put the letters down a bit and maybe make them just like, because I think the letters right now are at 30, so maybe if I put it down to like 25 or something, it would be easier to like read. Well, maybe not read, because like I do think the bigger letters is helping it be easy to read. But like I think, because I'm getting annoyed with the like it being broken up the way it is. Where it's like Pokemon community game, and then it's like Pokemon community game again. So like part of me just like wants to stretch out the chat a bit further, but it's like it won't let me do it live. It's funny how in the last stream, like literally the logo, it just has my writing of Reki and Longo, and I only talked about them for like a minute. Just like it was something different, so I was like, I'll keep it as the thumbnail, because it was the one it suggested, and I could have changed it, but I was like, nah, might as well keep it. That way it reminds myself, like, this is the stream where I tried out the, like, writing on screen thing. I don't have my stylus do it this time, though. I think I can do it with my thumb, with my finger, the same. That is the wrong thing. See how well it works out when it's just my finger? Come back here. Maybe it should be good night. It won't do it. Hang on. Come back. Perfect. That was horrible. I'm never doing that without a stylus ever again. Whew. Let me see. Let me go back to the one. This one, I think. Nope. This one, maybe? Let me find the good night one. The sweet dreams one. What does this one look like? Sorry, let me just see what this one looks like. Okay. And then it says press continuously to get more. I keep forgetting to use this one. And the... How useful would these things be at the beginning? You know? Let's see. If I could control them, I'd have them off to the side. That way they're not covering the model. Where's the one I'm looking for, though? Because this one... Hello. And then this one... Time to say goodbye. Aw. I didn't realize it said time to say goodbye, because the little indicator just says goodbye to me. So like, the fact that this says time to say goodbye, and I can't really see it. Let me make this a bit smaller. Maybe that's a bit too small. Let me do this again, and just see... Okay, because it was a bit too big. And then this one. Thank you for watching. I should have, like, when Summit was leaving, I should have sprung that one up. I should have been like, thank you for watching, Summit. And then this one. Good night and sweet dreams. Because for me, it is nighttime. For me, it's 11 at night. And I was always told never to say goodbye, so I shouldn't be using that one. But even this one says goodbye. If I could change it from time to say goodbye, it should be like time to go or something. But I don't know. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Good night and sweet dreams. I like that one. I like to be able to say that one. And then this one is just so cute. Thank you so much, because it comes up from the side, so it's not covering anything. So it's like, thank you so much for being here and watching. I'll be seeing you Monday. What day is it today? Sunday? Saturday? It's Saturday. So you can see Monday. I should start, like, because, like, last few times I tried to have, like, a topic in mind, or a handful of topics in mind to, like, chat about. And today I didn't really have any topics in mind to chat about, but, like, chat was able to go, oh, Subnautica, and oh, games, and oh, this. And I was like, oh yeah, these things. I was able to, like, talk myself as well. And bring up, like, how I've talked about other things before. So, like, it's not that bad. I should be, like, not being so, like, ground down about it, I guess. Or should I say I shouldn't be so hard on myself, is what I mean. So, thank you for being here. Hang on. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you Monday. I'll put the ending soon screen up now. Give me a few minutes, it's glitching on me.